Oi, oi. Welcome back to the Martin Leaker channel on an epic Flaterday. Oh my God. Give me a big 420 in chat if all my comms and everything is stonking. That would be absolutely awesome. So I'm back and the juice today will overflow us. We're going to appreciate the realm we live in and the beauty that is in the realm. There's beauty in the world. There's beauty in the seems to be a default with humanity that they seek the ugly, but I don't, you see. I just don't look at the ugly. I know it's there in some sort of perception, but not in mine, because myself only concentrate on the positive, because that's how we're going to win you, okay, through love. Now, the timing is absolutely impeccable. You cannot make it up. This plan that is unfolding for the world stage is just the same plan that's happened before. They keep doing the same plan. And it's rolled out over and over again. You know, we've seen the fall of Rome, haven't we? Well, it's just like that. And the change in paradigm this week, it has been absolutely crazy, as you know. America, can't imagine what it's like over there. You've got a lot of Democrats going, we call them Wamblins, and everybody else thinks that, you know, soon you'll be spending the Amira and all Zeke Island. So, which is a actually distinct possibility. The world just shifted in a big way, but not unexpected. You know, the way I was thinking about it, guys, is, you know, when we were looking into, you know, the New World Order and Agenda 2020 and all of these, which didn't happen, by the way, any of that. Well, it didn't, because we passed it. We're still here. But the world stage is setting up, you know, for world leaders to come out with stupid shit like basically we're going to plant a flag on the moon. Well, this is just a marketing ploy, you know, a business model, repeating exactly the speech that JFK said, we're going to plant a flag on the moon. And now they're going to plant a flag on Mars, excuse me. It's just like, yeah, well, we heard all of this before. And then what you do? Declassify apparently JFK's fucking case files. Like, you'll never get to the bottom of that one. So, yeah, so the world stage is all set. It's perfect timing. It's about to get all weird and strange. We can all feel it. And in the last 10, 15 years, not in America, I noticed, but definitely in Britain and parts of Europe, I've noticed as well, everything has been in decay and not growing at all, just in decay. Buildings, the people, the environment, everything, except for the countryside, is in decay. Nature is innocent in all this and not a player. What we're going to talk about tonight, okay, don't ask me how I know, because it comes to me, guys, and then, you know, I think it's from the creator. You know, it's just like, how can it not be? Which I'm going to share with you tonight. So it is mind-blowing. I can't share everything with you because I would explode your minds, and I'm not going to be doing that. I'm picking up the debris after. So what I'm going to tell you tonight is going to blow your mind, especially if you've been watching the wider spectrum of the truth movement. So it would appear that there is a failsafe for this place, a failsafe that would cause Noah's flood, for example, or maybe a Phoenix event, or a reset phenomena like a Mudflood. So what I'm going to show you tonight is a series of photographs, rare maps, mind-blowing maps, actually, things that make no sense, but they say it's all official, so I'm guessing the world must have been like that at some stage, and all of the other anomalies, which is not really taught in the history books concerning this place, and the dates. Now, to try and give you an accurate timeline for a reset date has been really tricky. Because the timeline's dancing around all over the place with changes and stuff, and it was really tricky. But I got there, and I don't math. So what discovered, but it's not a surprise to many of you, is that every second century, this place is reset. So it goes 200 years, then it goes over for the next 50 years, and then it's reset. And for my calculations, the last reset was 225 years ago. The last major resets, which would mean there's probably about like till the deadline, which don't panic. Don't panic. Don't tell him your name, Pike. There's a flip side to all of this. Just stick with it. Would be in around 20 to 25 years' time, which corresponds with Jason's Phoenix phenomenon. And that is a separate, completely separate line of inquiry of what I found. So there's that. Maybe I want to talk about this week. Jason's Brashears, our case, will be coming over to the Flat Earth British channel Wednesday this week. Keep an eye out, and you will see the live show this week. So something to look forward to for everybody. So we're going to look into that. It's going to be a mind blow, but we got a lot of beautiful stuff in this, a lot of laughs. Okay. So, but the beauty of this is that even though the controllers think they're in control, they're not actually. Do you know what is? Our minds. Once we fix the inside, and our outside and the outside perception of reality is going to completely flip, and that's going to happen. Something else I'm going to talk to you about as well is something that is a bit subtle and it's a bit weird, and it's tied in with Antiquitech, and it's the bells. Now, you remember I talked about in the last video Hell's Bells, or bells, and if this place, this realm, is an open prison, not really bad hell, but a lesser level hell. There's different levels to hell, possibly, just a type of hell for the person's. If they got a mind that is just left to rack and ruin and to do what it wants, that is the world that mind will create. And we're put in a realm like that. Just absolutely unbelievable. So there's a correlation between bells and time. Okay, they used to call us into school, ringing a bell, ding, 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 ding. They used to buzz a bell for changing lessons in school. And then there's the, I'll give you a bell. It's tied in with communication of human beings, bells. And Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the apparently used to telephone. But the day my grandfather died, Tommy Fender, God rest his soul, his clock stopped at exactly the same time. His bell clock. It was under a glass dome. Beautiful clock. But it stopped at the exact same time. So that set off a million questions with me, dear guys, of how could that possibly be in this realm that happened? But it happened. And then I recanted that there was a television extravaganza years ago, Uri Geller. I don't know whether you remember the Jewish mind control guy in the day. Well, he had a television special where he asked everyone to bring a broken watch or a broken clock out and put it in front of the television, and him with the power of his mind would fix all the watches and clocks. One of our broken watches started and we're like, fuck, that's been broken for years. Uri Geller. Or was it us? He later disclosed that it was the power of the mind and it was us that was doing it, and he hadn't done it. He just gave us the power of suggestion to do it, and we fixed our own watches. But there's something else going on with that, with the passage of time and, oh, excuse me. Can't see that, can you? Yeah, metronome. Well, that's trippy, isn't it? Oh, there. And bells. This has a bell, believe it or not. So church bells, they go off every 15 minutes in antiquity, don't they? And then they go off with their big dong on the hour, don't they? Well, there's an effect to a bell, and it is a frequency, it's a resonation, it's a cymatic pattern. It has a certain effect on humanity. And I am going to suggest that it just didn't do things to our health. I think the bells slowed time. No, I really do. And not only that, they replaced the bells. They took all the bells. We had longer longevity in the past. We were living way beyond what they're telling us. Okay, there's even no graves in the past. Nobody was even fucking dying. No toilets on flat Earth. Nobody was even shitting. What kind of realm and golden era were we exactly living in, guys? And what exactly are we in now? I'm going to offer all of that. It's going to be a bit trippy along the way, but it will be a roller coaster ride, and I'm sure you will. Sure you will enjoy it. It's going to be mad, actually. It's going to be a lot of beauty because, like Macy Gray said when I went to see her, she said, "There is beauty in the world. There is beauty in the world," and that woman would know because she's fucking had a hell of a life, hasn't she? So, and I like the lady. I don't think she's a sellout, Macy Gray. I really like that lady. So, well, yeah, for whom the bells are toll, and Hell's Bells, obviously, AC/DC for the subliminals or the suggestions there in contemporary society. You got me ringing Hell's Bells. So, yeah, so the paradigm shifting quicker. So what my consciousness or my awareness is telling me is that I have to pace it up. I have to quicken too. I have to do more telling you what's going on. And apparently it's what I'm supposed to do. So that's what I'm going to do with my life. Interesting? Okay, I'm going to do that. So yeah, my channel got blown up like in the last week or so. Since I give Satan a shout, my channel exploded. Not to beat around the bush, but so whether it was the extra juicy content, I don't know. To me, my vlogs are always extra juicy content. But yeah, it got like 50-odd thousand views or something, that video. So hi Nora, good to see you, lovely. And yeah, so doing cool stuff, guys. Yeah, and literally, right, this is the way I see it, and you know, it's a really good practice as well. Is the things are awesome. This place is amazing. I'm in awe. I mean, literally in awe. All right, it's a savage beast at times, but that's just to make us grow, isn't it? And if we got like all of these things coming at us and these entities and enemies and all of that, that too as well, even though it sucks ass, is to make us grow, because how would we recognize the good without it? You wouldn't want Christmas every day of the week. How would you appreciate the rest of the time? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I go, you know, long periods with nothing. Then when you get it, you're like, fucking hell, this is brilliant, because you learn to appreciate things better, you see. So there's a change in paradigm. People are just embracing the new ideals of, you know, what everyone envisioned in a utopia was going to be like. A dystopia, excuse me, utopia, a dystopia would look like. Well, it's far preceded all of that, hasn't it? In Britain, it's just, well, it doesn't bother me because I don't give a shit. I'm just passing through, and none of them will bother me because basically that would be stupid. So there's that. So I'm not bothered myself, but the rest of everyone else is like, and all this fear and all of that. It's just like, yeah, what? Deal with it. So yeah, we're gonna get into the juice. Let's give a few of you lovely people shouts while a few turn up. We got 500 people just turned up. Absolutely awesome. What's that, Matthew? Christmas every day would be like would make us all broke. Yeah, but I don't do Christmas anyway because it's all bullshit and fucking, you know, it's them, isn't it? I don't do anything then. I do my own new thing. It's actually not even remotely like any other way of thinking before. Yeah, but what I can say is all of these patterns are absolutely repeating. There's no doubt about it. Hi, Kay, good to see you. Jenny, repeating patterns. But all is mind, all is consciousness, all is awareness. So what we're going to do, okay, is flip the whole thing in our favor. And this is the time to do it. Kumasabi, Susan. And it's not to do with belief. It's just all of us standing in our own power, knowing what we are and what we used to be, and then inheriting this world when it's time. The Greek shall inherit the earth. Is that what he said? Blessed are the cheesemakers. I have pounds of 4. Oh, very, very good. Combat Finn. Good to see you, Isabel, mate. Matthew, Metal Ethel. You are definitely here. Mr. Raz is in the house, feeling floofy and irie. So, yeah, it's where you put your attention, really, isn't it? People, bring up things to me that are happening in the world, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's all really bad, but it's on the internet, isn't it? Yeah, what you got to do? Yeah, thank you. I got like 2,000 subs of just basically YouTube blowing my channel up again like they did before. I got 2,000 subs in the last month or so. Probably going through all my old videos, wondering what the hell is going on. So, yeah, I've been well buried for the longest time. So, quite happy. I think either my hard work has paid off, because I do a lot of hard work. I'd like to think, which would be really great, because then that'd be like deserved, if that makes any sense. The organic growth. Thanks, Isabel, brother. The organic growth of Martin Leaker, Flat Earth British, taken out when he was getting there, started all over again on zero, and now 10 years, 10 fucking years in the truth movement, and absolutely love it. Wouldn't have changed a day. It's been absolutely fantastic. YouTube is fucking awesome. It saved my life, is what YouTube done. Without YouTube, I wouldn't be here right now. And I know that for a fact. So rejoice. Thank you, YouTube. You were awesome. Thank you for saving my life and the community. Because, yeah, you reach people worldwide. You make a friends. You make your friends in the world, don't you? You resonate with. And they keep us then, and you keep your friends for life then, don't you? And that's what I did. And met all my friends. So it's awesome. Luke Smith. What do I think there being a prehistoric advanced AI? Oh, yeah, I definitely all think everything that you are experiencing in this realm is a type of technology. It has to be, because it's a mathematical construct, isn't it? So it has to be an intelligent design, which means something put it here, didn't it? Including the nature, which is too perfect and gave it all away, actually. But there you are. The carpet seems normal, but I definitely think somewhere along the line, after the last reset, I definitely think it was an early 1800s reset. Then I think there was some sort of edit, because I think there's edits along the way, around 1902. And then a big jump and change in paradigm from creative masters to this new paradigm of science, which is like, stupid. It really is, because people knew everything they needed. They had everything they needed, the skills to get by. They didn't go off to the drugstore. They had everything hanging up in their kitchens to dry, all the herbs they needed, all the remedies. They had the information, and that's the information that they're just not going to share with us. We got to find this stuff up for ourselves. And then they say, oh no, that's not it. She's a witch, burn her. She's been keeping fit, eating healthily. But it is strange times, but I would miss it for the day. I'm jolly excited about things. Do I think the rain it is? Well, I think the mud comes, it's a mixture of things, isn't it? The Mudflood apocalypse, because you can see mud flows, lahars for sure. So some sort of resonant earthquakes that will cause liquefaction, because below the mud is the water table. So if you shake it all up, the mud mixes with the water table and becomes a mud flood. And any undulating land, it would fill up like the way a glacier does, valleys and stuff, which is what we're witnessing. I'll give you some examples right now in a minute of what I'm talking about. Starting with this old world of architecture, which is monstrosities. I mean, 12-foot thick walls. You know what they had, the apocalypse in mind. These buildings that they built, many of them taken down actually now in the modern day. They were Armageddon proof, and they thought about floods, and they thought about these events. So Austin, Texas is absolutely awesome. Do love me a bit of Texas. The old world order, yes, I was in that this year. Got a little cameo in there somewhere. Oz, good to see you. Louise. What do you call a knight who keeps showing up unexpectedly? Is there a joke in there somewhere? John Levy's awesome. Indeed, indeed. I do like a John Levy sesh on a Sunday, relax with the dulcet tones of John Levy. Thanks, Steve. Okay, Ryan and Dr. is in the house, Riz is in the house, Marianne, Dimples, and Ferrelly, and Michael, and Isabel, and Pink Stripe, and Connor, and Saggy, and Bug, and my brother Alpha Billy, and lovely Teresa, who is hippie shake who shares our stuff, and Dallas Fowler. Okay, so let's get into some imagery and some stuff. It's all going to look very beautiful, but you'll allow me to float off into my little thinky worlds, because I'm going to take you on a roller coaster ride through Martin's mind and what I've been thinking about this week. But it is totally interesting, and I'm sure, like my last videos, it will give you tons and tons to think about. Talking about my last video, I learned more about religion in the last week than I ever did before. It's all very interesting. And yeah, people really wanted to air their opinions and their views on whether or not Satan was the son, is the son, and that we are in hell. I don't know. It seems to have struck a chord with a lot of people, don't you think? It's been popping up on everyone's feeds. And they're like, things have been shit since I was born. Wonder what that's all about. Okay, but it is all about perspective. And as I said, this place is amazing, and I am full of awe of it. And there are beautiful things to see and witness. And that is what I'm going to be focusing on in this realm. Okay, these are beautiful, as you can see. Just stunning images of the age of Tartaria. Now, I just want to draw your attention to some things with these buildings. They're a mixture of buildings in America, Australia, other places, and buildings that have suffered reset in these little shares here. But this building's in Cleveland, Ohio, right? Now, there's a lot of beautiful buildings in Cleveland, Ohio, I've noticed in the past. But can you see this little church that is attached to this building? And what we notice with these buildings as well is they have these like upper levels. So if it floods, these bottom bits here have got the thicker masonry, so to speak. And then you got these upper gantries. So you could literally just come along on your balloon or come along on your boat. And then the upper floors could still be occupied. If the flood was deeper again, well, that's not a problem, because then you can sail your boats or your balloon in to the upper gantries. And you're just going to see this with so many of these old buildings. And all of the juice, all of the Phoenician decoration, you know, see around these portals here, and the Imperial Eagle, etc., you know, of the Empire, and the bay windows, massive arches, raised in the air, first floor, first story door, which you're always going to see with these types of buildings. But if you can just see the tops of the windows in the bottoms, well, these are tops of windows that look like that. And all of these buildings go much deeper. In fact, some of them go 2-3 levels down. They do in my city in Cardiff. This I could prove. So another thing that they got, these huge Tartarian buildings, is massive roofs and seemingly top heavy, like there's a lot of the building missing underground. And these all share these massive arches and domed entrances and portals to these buildings as well. But again, the thick granited bottom okay? So it can take a thump of water as well. But it's got, from the old world, this technology that I'm going to show you in a minute, guys, is associated with antiquity, technasmia. If you imagine, like they had in the Vanderbilt's mansion and Fifth Avenue, they had giant organs, like they had in the Amsterdam, the Adams family house. They had them in these buildings, and the organ music would seep through them portals there as well. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, this is apparently a building that's been torched out in Cleveland, but you can see how old this building is. I can't believe any of these buildings they say that are built in the late 1800s. Well, I beg to differ, because it's always the case they're either refurbished from an earlier stage in the 1800s, okay, or the fact that they just are ancient. And then Mudflood. This one's in Seattle, another city that got torched, erased, and then it's all back again. But you can see there's bits of debris there. Is it just been completed, or is it there already? First story is up in the air. Second story, again, flood protection. Again, mudflood evidence. There seems to be some construction going on in the background, though. You can just have a look at that down there. Some scaffolding and some sort of church, maybe. Hardly any people around, but the infrastructure looks jolly good. But it is America, so I dig that. They had good infrastructure early. Philadelphia. This is this big old palace. Philadelphia is one of the oldest cities in America, and it was a Welsh colony. And originally, Philadelphia was called New Wales, and then it was changed to Pennsylvania, the state. But Philly got all this old Moorish looking, but the Imperial Eagles, you know, this is a slot of the old world. And I am utterly convinced that, you know, these buildings that were worldwide are a much older civilization that was reset. And I don't, you know, I worked in archaeology, guys, right? And it appeared to me that these people didn't know too much about anything, you know, were really intrigued in the 14th century. And then 1700s, they knew nothing about it, you know, like a Chippendale's just come up. It's going to be worth 13 million because there's hardly any furniture left from the 1700s. It's like, what? Yeah, and a Stradivarius violin is worth like 2 million. Why? Because it was made in the early 1700s. It's like, what? Why? Because nothing's left in the early 1700s. Well, not furniture-wise, not too much. No, sorry. This is St Pancras Station in London, the railway station. Eurolink now, but it looks like a palace. But it's this this Gothic Baroque type of architecture with loads of knobbly bits, driving chi energy up, amplifying it. It's a living building. This is on the banks of the River Seine, a hospital, famous old hospital on banks of the River Seine. I'm not sure what the crane is for. All the aerials in an era without radio. But there are all of these going down to the River Seine to underground places and catacombs, which are all under Paris, as we know. Okay, so this one was in Chicago. It was the Chicago City Hall for a number of years. Apparently built in the late 1800s and then knocked down in 1909. And apparently, you know, it cost hundreds of thousands of dollars just to take this monstrosity down because it's like 12 foot thick at the bottom. But again, these Buckingham Palace bits with the raised gantries, water comes in, and this top bit, they could take it. And even these, you know, they remind me of heat sinks and computers, these columns you see on corners for banks and all of that. And it all fits in with the idea of circuit board. So there's that. And the size of this thing here, I think this one's in Vancouver, Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But again, you know, this huge door arch, which looks like it's half an arch, and half the building can't make its mind up whether it's a church or a residence. But oh my God, look at the gardens, everything they got. This is on a glass plate for photographs. This is particularly early, all built with horse and carts. Jolly good show. This is the biggest building, they say, of the 1800s, and it's the Hotel de Ville in Brussels in Belgium. You've seen it many times on this channel. It is a monstrosity. It had a massive fire. The roof burnt off in the past, but there it stands, testament to the architecture, apparently, of that era. To me, it looks like a throwover, and it was too big and too cumbersome to actually get taken out in the apocalypse. It survived. A lot of it is still underground, brushed up, and there it goes again to the next reset civilization. Anyone will be walking around going, God, it's magnificent. Did we build all of this? Yes, we built it all. Look at it. In fact, we shared our plans with every other country in the world, because every other country in the world is sharing exactly the same architecture. No, that's not what's going on, is it? Because this one world order that everyone's been talking about has been here all along. Trying to outthink it, knowing that people are going to wake up. Obviously, the technology that has just happened, the new technology revolution, has changed a lot of things, because we had all the information and got jolly excited when it first came in, and then, you know, they've started to suppress the information on changing wiki and things like that. So yeah, this Mudflood building here, you can see got low-level windows and a front door in the air. You see that a lot. Makes 0 sense. Mudflood reset 1850. Well, this image has got places that are buried, but they still got smoke coming out, so they could be peat burners. That might be a misleading image. Excuse me. So yeah, Mudflood. So this old cathedral, I think it's called St. Catherine's. So it looks like it's absolutely stinking, because it looks like there's a throw over from the Armageddon, and you can see that this section here, if you keep an eye on this next image, Doosh was buried, and then doof. So yeah, they didn't found it, they found it, literally dug it out of the mud. Okay, I guess they had endless people to clean it up. So another form of reset, this 1865. It looks like it's Karnak, but what you find is all over these sites in Egypt, you see these spludged areas, like if a beam or something of incredible heat, hot enough to melt stone, had hit it. Like advanced fasces, technologies that were utilized in the ancient world, as we now know. So yeah, it would appear there are, you know, photographs of the wind in the skies and these unbelievable bits of shit that are hanging around everywhere in antiquity. See this? Apparently the cow shit piles up as well. Is this a pile of cow shit? Or a lahar? And you can see, apart from the ancient grid system that's covering all of Asia, Africa, and America, that can be seen on LiDAR and other technologies from above, and you can see it on Google for yourself. I've got endless images to prove this is true, of perpendicular, parallel, completely block lines going for hundreds, thousands of miles even in Nevada desert, Arizona, places like that. It's just crazy. You've got a mag out to actually see it, and you get places in these middle of nowheres like this. This place, there would have been a civilization here somewhere. What did this do? 4 angels. 1, 2, 3, 4 angels. 1 in the middle. Technology. It's what it is. So yeah, another Mudflood example. You can see that again, the first door in the air. No, this is in Russia. Forgive me not, but isn't Russia famous for having tons of snow and ice? So what? You just step out in the morning and you go on your bum straight down the slippery, icy stairs. It would make much more sense to have a lower staircase, I think, in cold countries. But apparently, the architects at the time didn't think that was, you know, whatever they were thinking. I don't know. Anyway, you can see that it's all blocked. There's windows down below here in this building. We've seen endless amounts of these. This is called the Devil's Slide. And it's apparently a feature in Ohio, in America. The Devil's Slide, so it's two large bits of wall, ancient, going up the side of a mountain. Difficult to determine what it was, but some of the pictures in the past show it that it was a physical wall with a ton of people on it. So who built that exactly? Hiawatha. No, man. That was there, the older world. So here we go, another Russian example of this beautiful style of architecture. Big, nice, thick walls, you know, keep you warm in the winter. But you can see the lower windows. I've seen this myself. Evidence of this and filmed it for you in the Czech Republic, in Prague railway station. There was a door. They literally dug a car park out, and underneath there was a door that I hadn't seen the light of day in hundreds of years, really. But at one time, it would have stepped out onto the street. Just amazing. This building is no longer, I'm afraid. The top bit they removed. Just remember where this is. I think it was in Cincinnati. And yeah, it's gone, but it's a beautiful Tartaria. But note, there's no bell there, maybe. And they got the clock there. The clock dings at a certain hour. The bell chimes there at the highest point in the town, and the sound comes out in waves. Okay, this is in Buffalo, the first apparently electrified city. It's the thumbnail for this video that I'm showing you, and you can see an obelisk down there as well, a big white obelisk. But yeah, it's this thick red granite. Now, I've seen this everywhere. I've seen it in Dealey Plaza in Dallas. There was one that looked like this type of building. It's just that same replicated thick red granite stone. And the red brick buildings of America are just uncanny, because if you look at Denver, Colorado, for example, in its timeline, there's just this big red brick city a mile in the air. It's just like, what? And they say that they dragged all that shit up there, built it all, horse and cart. It's just the narratives are just stupid. Anyway, this is actually also in America. I can't remember where it is. I think it's Cleveland. I'm not sure. But you can see again, it's this giant, you know, whatever style, something like maybe Istanbul, but the dome replicated dome that you see on a Capitol building or St. Paul's or all these other places, and this chapel that is coupled up to it. It's a whole complex of technology, is that? But look at the end bit, the window down there. Just giant old buildings. I can imagine what it was like. I just see it. I envision it. I envision Tartaria. I've seen what it's like. Look at this. What's this array at the top? That looks like one of those things they have on battleships for scanning, you know, like one of those radar things. And this huge block that they needed. Why did they need the huge block? Clock tower. Something else, mechanism going on in your old world mechanism that we know nothing about. But again, thick granite stone and large domes that are replicated all over the world. The skyscrapers. Now, I think some of these skyscrapers are definitely old world. I really do, especially in New York, San Francisco. This is the call center. You can see here on Market Street. Check out the old lamppost and water feature thing. I've got pictures of that. So everyone beautifully turned out. Obviously, this is before the Great Fire of San Francisco, but huge doors. You know, almost like it was populated by giants at some stage. And it's a huge, big tower. But again, look at the top. You'd have to be in an air balloon to appreciate that. No people are ever going to see up there. So it is a beautiful Tartarian building, I think. And then this happened. So you can think that it was an earthquake because the earthquake didn't bring the tower down. And that the fire started as a firestorm. Only the buildings next to it are absolutely smashing. Well, maybe not that one. And the fire started from above on the call center. And then it's all incinerated core inside. The building superstructure had to survive. And it's there today. The Canadian bank here, I think this one is probably in Vancouver as well. But you can see these banks in nearly every American town, American Midwest. Every little town will have its square with its courts or its town hall. City Hall, and then you'll have one of these banks. These always become banks, and they're on the corner as well. They always got the Greco-Romano columns. These things, I think that they was part of the old grid system. I think these are some sort of heat sink, and they're always on the corner because it's part of the grid system. I think that's it as well. Again, with Buffalo, look at this beautiful building, windows down there, quality. They don't build them like that anymore. A nice big windows letting all the light in as well. They like to have little windows in the modern day, don't they? Look at this building is in Melbourne. In what looks like the 1940s, but you can see, you know, who's going to see these statues? Unless you're Spider-Man, right? Or you're flying past and you're Superman. You're not really going to see it unless you're up there in a balloon. But, you know, really massive buildings all over antiquity. So somebody's building all the same stuff worldwide. So it's a new world order. And just have a look at some fantastic clocks a minute, because these buildings, a lot of them have clocks and they're all over antiquity. So this is the timer or the scanner on H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Who doesn't love the film The Time Machine? When he's opposite the shop and all of the women's dresses get shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay. So how did H.G. Wells know that women's dresses would get shorter and shorter and shorter and be miniskirts by the 1960s then? The film wasn't even made till 1960, before even miniskirts came along. Predictive programming. H.G. Wells knew way too much. What about that for a date? Literally coming to 1900. That's a really big synonymous date you keep seeing over and over played, isn't it? I wonder. I look at that date and I wonder. Oh, it's like a sort of spooky face there as well. I wonder if that's when they started it. How would we even know? With just controlling information. AI been here all along as well. Fuck me. I missed that, but now I know, because I've got my grips on what AI is. Starting to, by the way. Because I'm a YouTuber, so I'm slave to the algorithm. This is the Prague clock that's been keeping time since the 1400. You can see a little earthly map inside, but I've made a post about what I think is going on with that. I think it was conducting time in outer worlds, other lands as well. So have a think about this for a second. Somebody in my comments said something to me and it struck a chord. Now, in George Orwell's book, these are the first words. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. So that would be a completely different paradigm. How did they do that? Well, in 1928, they were going to add a month on the calendar and make it 13 months. Are you aware of that? Oh, yeah, I'll show you the evidence later. They were thinking on definitely doing that and stretching it out. So how would your day be at 13 hours? 13 hours, strike 13. So there would be, you know, it would be a completely different paradigm. So somebody said in my comments that adding, and that's why the days are just zipping by all the fucking time. It's not just our perspective. The days are literally, it's getting shorter. He was saying something like a second an hour, and the atomic clocks are con. And if you're trying to follow the passage of time, tick, 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 well, that's just going to run tick, 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 fucking linear forever, isn't it? It's not going to actually, it's not to actually measure the true passage of time that they tell us is going forward. I got a sneaking suspicion that that can be slowed. I mean, the passage of time, guys. I think it can be slowed. You can turn it backwards. I think that you can just, like, maybe in Logan's Run, but without the death, reach a certain age of maturity, and, you know, you got, because wisdom comes later in life, but to get wisdom as well, and then just stay at that age of maturity and not grow and basically decay into an old fucker, which this place dictates. That makes no sense to me. What, you come into your fucking prime and get all your wisdom when you're on your way out? Makes no fucking sense, because then you can't utilize it then in your reality, can you? So there's that. So But there's a lot of weird inconsistencies with this reality. So time, Pink Floyd got a thing or two to say about time. This is my local clock shop, not cock shop, clock shop. And he's got all sorts of really cool clocks in this shop, really expensive little timepieces. So yeah, well, a death will stop one, its owner. So here's a clock in the past. This clock here has got the 24-hour day on it. And as you can see, Martin Liedtke, aka Flat Earth British, he lives by there. In that little tiny island there, yeah, of mental cases. An island full of mental cases, yeah. So they used to keep time through drips of water clocks, drip, drip. And apparently one fell every 1,000 elephants. 1,000 elephants, drip. 1,000 elephants, drip. And that is how that would run that clock. And then people would conduct their life by that time. So would that be accurate? Well, it's a bit there and there. So yeah, so this arrow of time that they keep telling us is there and it's driving us forward, and that the human race is racing to where exactly? Because I think that everything, you know, we must be running fucking backwards then, because everything's gone backwards if they're making things like this in the 1800s. I don't know what all of these are for, though. Can't pretend that I do, like any of them, to be honest with you. But it is a thing of beauty, and it's clockwork, and I like things that are clockwork. I find them dead interesting. You got a little Phoenician Cherebanuski, right. So yeah, the timepieces came on in the 1700s, apparently. The maritime pieces, astrolabes, etc., and the advancement in barometers, etc. But before then, apparently not that much. And nobody bring up the man's narrative that there was, oh yeah, we were really advanced in the past. There was the Antikythera device. Have you seen it? Oh, so complicated. Oh, there's the Baghdad battery. Now, the only reason that them gatekeeping people say all of that is because they don't want you to think that they had advanced technologies. Look at these things here, these little resonators. They look like they're off stupas in India. Do you think they're aesthetic, or do you think there might be something more going on, like it's creating a field? They have to be protected as well, clocks, by on ships by brass plating all around them. Otherwise, they can't keep accurate because of the magnetic field created by the ship. So there's that magnetic EM protection that's required on marine timepieces. So what I noticed is this. If you follow Flat Earth British, you probably have noticed this as well, is all of the alchemical images that we see of, you know, old Father Time, or if you want to call him the Grim Reaper, or Thames, or Zeus. There's a few characters of the Phoenicians that have a hourglass, the sands of time. And the Phoenicians, or whoever the controllers are, the Phoenicians, they turn the hourglass around, and then when the last grains of sand are gone down, they press some sort of button, releasing a load of water and making a reset. But that is part of it, right? So I know there's maybe fear wrapped around that, but it's not. It's not, because you got to realize that all is mind, and this is a fucking mind game that they're playing, and this can be turned around completely once you understand it and what is exactly going on. Well, it's done and dusted. This is a win. This is a win-win for us. Okay. You might see this is the Hajj. You can see it in an Arab book, but the Hajj is also based on some sort of timepiece. Interestingly, they got the cube in the center. They definitely know what this place is. No doubt about it. Excuse me. And the four angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, which are coincidentally, no shit, vortices. They're vortices in each corner, just showing you the electromagnetic structure of this place. And I'm guessing that is pointing north, so that would be upside down, but that's down to Qibla walls, which prove the Earth is flat. Time keeps on ticking into the future. I'm gonna fly like an eagle to the sea. No, I am. I'm gonna go where the weather suits my clothes. So this clock, I can't exact clock, not cock. What's the matter, people? It stopped at obviously 20 to 12 in the morning, and there was a mud flood came in and buried that clock. Mud floods do happen. They happen all of the time. They happen quite often in California. So this old alchemical picture definitely knows that the comets. Did anyone see the comet? I think it's actually a time that you could actually pinpoint and bug out as well. Probably knew in the past. I think that what we're decoding now, and all of other people like Jason and Cam and all of the other people that are doing these decodes, I think that these sort of things happened before. I really do. Obviously, once the information's out, the whole paradigm changes. This is what I'm finding. It's like I literally this week, I felt like I broke the fucking internet. It's like, yeah, because I said that and it's never been said before. Well, nobody's been saying it before, as usual. So yeah, this is an unusual thing as well. This is like how you get into another dimension. Is it through a vortices? You see that in the Wizard of Oz. You see it in the Pirates of the Caribbean. He goes to another dimension through a wormhole that is a vortices, which is a hourglass. So yeah, I think that is the case, but there's not much you can do about it. It's no use, like, because it's because people will think, well, that seems a bit like that sucks, but it doesn't. Not to me, it doesn't. I see that as actually awesome, because all of them weak fucks that are traitors to humanity, excuse the phrase, yeah, they won't be inheriting the earth, is the way I see it, because God knows your soul, see, or the Creator knows your soul, and is going to know who the fuck to keep around for the new world that's coming. And I can't see him keeping them lot around. Can you? They sold out. I know it's mind control and the victims, and you gotta love them, and they are trying. But some people, 8 or 10 are narcissists, and they will fight you. I get it all the time, guys. Just because I think different, I've had it my entire life. I offend people in my presence. I can't even help it. People get like literally scared because in case I say something. This is the clock outside of Greenwich Mean Time, which sets the time for the whole of the world. Okay, Greenwich Mean Time 0 is right there. And I bet you that's to do with the ley line or the coordinate that it's smack on. When it's smack on the ley line of 0 coordinate, which all of the maritime seeing goes from. And there's the 0 there. I wonder what he's giving her. Giving her a love letter. Maybe. Anyway, there he is up there. With a clock, time, I'm guessing this is time in New York, Times Square. They know. And look at that for a beautiful clock. Oh my God. I said clock. And there he is. He's got a scythe, because obviously that is his job. He scythes, he purges, he scythes humanity, because it culls, or as they say, it purges, pruning the nations, as they call it. And he's already, and the hourglass has been turned over and has a time limit. Although I think that they exist out of time in oblivion or in eternity, without time and without age, suffering, and all of that caper. Because literally, guys, if you could freeze time just by an understanding and a change of frequency of body and maybe a small technology, all the suffering would be over. All of the world's ails would be over. There'd be no more. So Aberfan, this clock stopped, unfortunately, at 9:30 in the morning, killing hundreds of cute little Welsh kids. But that happens on a very synonymous date in the witch's calendar, 21st of October, 1966. They like to do events and affect the line with traumatic events as well. I'm not exactly sure what is going on. It's just very nice steampunky atmosphere to it. So I'm seeing a lot of art out there at the moment of people that have envisioned Tartaria. Exactly what my mind's seen it like. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the atmosphere to it as well. It's so gorgeous. It's like literally yummy. It's like, oh, I could live in this for 1,000 million years. It's just that yummy. Everything delicious. Everything cool. And really weird. So Time Magazine. Yeah, check this out. This was in 2020, just before you know what. And they were telling us there was going to be a reset, and they were, reconstructing their paradigm, their globe, their narrative, with no proof whatsoever. They just say shit. And in 2020, they were announcing the Great Reset, and then it was a Great Reset. Although I did have a book saying Great Reset before 2020, so beat you to it, fucking Time Magazine. So another massive clock is Big Ben. Ooh. My mic's going worse. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. Fucking. Okay. Wank. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. So what happened there? Was it getting crackly? Just don't touch it. Oh, thanks, Mo, brother. Is that what was going on? Okay, so we're... It's fine now, is it? Okay, awesome. So how many of you are here? 841 of you. Awesome. Make sure to share this out. Thank you for my background, Sam. Yeah, I'm in a church. Well, this is my church. This is where I heal my hurts. So we're going to have a little giggle later anyway. So thanks, Mo. You are awesome, mate. You are. You tech support as well now, bro. So what you saying, Nora? I'm frightened to touch my bleeding laptop now. So Nora went live on a channel the other day. Ooh. In a protesty thing. Oh, yeah. So we were on Big Ben. We're going to talk about Big Ben. Yeah, it's a massive clock, and it's got a Victorian mechanism. Apparently, you balance it with Victorian, that was 1 pence pieces and stuff, which I have some of. Years ago, when you were young, you used to be able to file off the edges of 1 pence pieces, and they fitted the gas meter perfectly. Just a little bit of British history. Maybe some of you can remember. Dallas Fowler, hippie shake. Listen, times were hard in the 70s. Fucking hell. All families living on a bob a week. But we were happy. We were happy with our pot noodles and our festa curries. Free so hippie. Multiple world. Well, that's where I think the Phoenicians come from, because we don't know anything about the sea, really, do we? And they have got this maritime theme and these mermaids and stuff. So yeah, I haven't actually seen Big Ben, the bell, myself, the tower, multiple times. Wasn't Stephen's Tower. It's been renamed Queen Elizabeth Tower after Her Royal Highness. So is it better now, Cheryl? Thank you for contacting me, sweetness. Is my better now? Well, exactly, maritime law. This is why, and our language is phonetics as well. We're casting spells on one another, all sorts of weirdness that we don't know. We're just getting a grip of. Which is why people wonder why I bastardized the English language. I'm Welsh. So there's that. And for that reason, I'll bastardize it. I'll swear, I'll just put words in there. I noticed that AI doesn't understand the word amazing. So I'm going to keep using amazing. Like, this place is amazing regularly, because the analytics just totally off guard with that one. It's like, what is amazing? I have no concept for what amazing in. I only know pain and suffering. Jay, good to see you. That's strange tastes, hasn't it? Dragon Sage. Bojangles is in the house. Love Bojangles. Just toy with it. Toy with a horrific thought and chuck it away. Say, you pussy thought. Get out of there. That's how you win. Tex Flynn. Marty McFly. Nobody has ever said that before to me, Tez. Ever. Okay. People called me Penfold of Danger Mouse. I didn't like that very much, though. People have called me Pee-wee Herman. I don't fucking like that at all, actually. It's very insulting. And Penfold's not too bad. He was the clever one in Danger Mouse's organisation that worked all shit out. People called me Adrian Mole as well. Adrian Mole, 13.5 inches. Yeah, I thought that was funny. What else people call me? Oh, that guy, the lead singer out of fucking Rush. I look nothing like Jeddy Lee. Nothing like Jeddy Lee. So there he is, yeah. These windows, you can stick your heads out. We've all seen Blue Peter, haven't we? And, you know, John Noakes cleaning them windows. Moments that's been psychologically scarred to me. So, yeah, this watch stopped at 25 past almost 2 in the afternoon. And it was on the Titanic. Apparently, that's when it went down. But thankfully, nobody died. I have loads of newspaper cuttings to prove nobody died. So there's that. So, yeah, this is the London Telegraph. Now, there's a connection with bells, I believe, and... Fuck a duck. Why is it going like that? Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I have an idea. I have an idea to save the day. Stay there, guys. Don't go away. We'll play this for a minute. I'm going to fuck about with my microphone. Okay. Yeah, I do. I have sound. Yeah, let me give me a big 420 if I know I was on mute. Okay, don't worry, I'm new to the world. Can you give me a 420 if I'm not crinkly staticky? Hi, Sakib. Good to see you, my friend. No 420. So what happens when I share? It all goes fucking crinkly. Okay, well, we'll just persevere with that then, won't we? See what goes on. Okay, can't do much about it. So is the nature of YouTube being a total shit. Okay. Don't worry, we'll do it together. Share our love. Okay. Hooray for Harold Lloyd. So how am I doing now? Am I okay? Good for now. Good for now. It's okay. Sounds good. Perfect sound. Okay, then. Well, I'm going to keep still and not shake anything because I think that's it. I think when I shake my table through excitement, I think it all goes to poo. So I'm not going to do that anymore. This is interesting. Look at this little clock here. Can you see that? Check the map out in the middle. It's a little flat Earth map. America's curving around all of Asia. And that big blob over there, I can only presume, is Oz. What kind of time it's keeping? Again, I'm very confused about. They were doing multiple things with time in the past that I do not understand. Maybe this is just celestial observations. So San Diego Isn't it weird how all California and San Diego and all of these places, LA, have got all of this old Tatarian stuff hanging around when it's so far west? You know, how did they do that? Well, I think that I'm going to show you in maps. So I think the Tatarians had no trouble occupying or going into America, coming down from the north across the straits, as we will see. Things were not always as they are now. So yeah, isn't that beautiful? I wonder how it would run. 1907. It was in the World's Fair of Sacramento. Very, very nice. So time keeps on slipping into the future. So yeah, I definitely think if you can do it, if you could think it, it can happen. So I think we should just like put the brakes on time. So the Prague astronomical clock has been showing accurately on a flat surface the time of day and position of the sun and the moon over astronomical details since 1410, and that is underneath there, and that is why. So that's the time it is. That's all it'll ever be, really. So, you know, people got like trauma because of their past nows, which makes no sense really, because they were not really, they don't exist at all. They're like just figments of invisible electrical energy in your mind. So they don't even exist. They're just memories, which are electrical signals in the mind. So they don't exist. So there's no point doing it. So it's all part of this, what the Matrix does to us. It's like we do it to ourselves. I don't even know why. It's just craziness. The psyche is such a motherfucker. But, excuse my language, not. That's what time it is, and that's what time it'll always be. That's what we've got to think of. Concentrate on the now, and the future will sort itself out as long as you maintain a good vibration, a loving vibration, and know nothing in this place can harm you. And you got this, okay? So this picture of Harold Lloyd, I love Harold Lloyd movies. There's actually a scaffold just by here that was shot. Like literally drops like a foot and lands on it. No danger whatsoever. Hooray for Harold Lloyd. Let's move on. Bells. And giant bells. Now, I think you could accurately date Armageddon from bells. I'll explain why now. Okay, I think my audio's okay now. So some of these eastern bells, you can see this huge bell that is hanging on a gantry, but this is probably not the original building that this thing was in. Okay, how they hang it there in them days defies imagination. How they founded it defies imagination, but it's for healing, and it's got other properties as well. And I do definitely think, because it's connected with clocks, that the resonation of a bell has something to do with time. As obscure as that sounds, I definitely think it's the case. And, you know, workers used to go to work. It's more than just your bell ringing, your alarm going off to wake you up, to a bell starts you in the morning. A bell calls you into work. It's more than the bell dictating. I think the bell itself does it. And then they tore all the bells down of the old world when we were in what some people are calling the golden era, or some people say the 1,000-year reign of Christ, the different sun that was here, the orangey, nice, juicy sun that is now turned white, weak as piss, and Satan-y, along with the realm. So there's that, but that is finite, isn't it? And we have to go through this process, and we just learn as we're going. So obviously that bell there was in a much, much greater building, some of which you can still see here. Can you imagine the size of the building? Where's the building gone? I think the bells were doing something incredible with the place. Yeah, I think the sound, the vibration is more than just healing. We'll go into that in a minute, because I touched my microphone. Because they're all on town halls, and every single time it is 12 o'clock or 1/4 past the hour, the bell tolls, and it gives off a vibrational quality out into the air. So this is the Tsar bell. Now the Tsar bell is a massive bell, and it was in a tower in the Kremlin. But apparently the Tsar bell fell in a fire, because it was on fire, the Kremlin, in 1737. So 1737, there was a fire in the Kremlin, and then this was in a high tower, and it fell down. And then they say that they threw ice on it, or snow, and then it cracked as a result. Why was the bell on fire? Makes no sense, that. They say this was red hot from the fire, and they threw ice on it, is the narrative, and this cracked. Well, I think this cracked when the world ended, and when there was a paradigm shift of a mud flood, is what I think. And how do I know? Because the Liberty Bell, although not the same date, they give you a date of 1846. The narrative of the cracking of the Liberty Bell was apparently like supernatural, to do a commemoration for some president, and the thing fucking cracks. I think it's a marker, and that's why they're showing us. This is the most important bell in the whole of the biggest country in the world, and the Liberty Bell is the most important bell in America. Wouldn't you agree? And they're both cracked. Isn't there a message there? Yeah, there's the Liberty Bell. 1776, the Liberty Bell was founded. The crack was sometime later, though. I believe it was 1846. There was an event that caused this to happen. Probably a sound so loud that it caused mud flood and a resonation that turned it all to slush and buried all the buildings. Just an apocalypse. So they in World War I, in World War II, as you may know, there's a technology to these bells. If you can see, the tops have got crowns on them, and they're all the same crown style. And what you find is they're like a torsion field mechanics. It's basically the same as four angels. They're folding in, creating amplified chi. And this is happening when the bell's vibrating. I don't know whether you've ever seen Kung Fu Hustle. There's a lady in there. She blows through a bell to make supercharged, audible energy to fight with, knock people over with. In fact, she could smash buildings down with her voice through a bell. They destroyed the bells of the old world and completely replaced them with another metal. They say that they collected them up in World War I and World War II for the war effort to make, because it's brass, into shell casings for tank shells, etc., out of beautiful, beautiful bells. All the bells of antiquity have been taken. They even need a guard. What's that? 1846, mass famine in Europe. Indeed, yes, Squirrel Sniper, that is a fact. Yeah, because an island as well, the potato famine. So they got an armed guard over these, in case anyone tries pinching any. After the war, they introduced some bells back, and they were greeted. This is an interesting thing. They were greeted by the clergy, who blessed the bells with Latin Phoenician words and charmed the bells so that the vibration that they give off has another more sinister, duller sound. If you ever hear Big Ben in London, guys, it goes bong. It sounds like a funeral bell. It's dry, it's nasty. Big Ben sounds horrible. In fact, a lot of the London bells sound horrible. Yeah, oranges and lemons, says the chimes of, what is it? Oranges and lemons are the. So I owe you 500. Anyway, there's a song that tells you about the bells, like Bow Bells and the bells of Old Bailey, which I can't remember right now. It's got fudge brain. So they were like answering one another, and they would fill the entire air of the entire city. Coincidentally, in World War II, all church bells were forbidden to ring for the whole duration of World War II. Until 1945, VE Day, and then we were allowed to ring bells all over England and Wales until like 6 years of silence. This is a replica of the mind-blowing there of the Liberty Bell. 2,500 officers and men from Camp Dix in New Jersey. It's an unfortunate name for a military camp, isn't it? Fort Dix. It's like, where are you? You at Dix, sir? Yeah, I'm at Dix. But they'd be like highly trained military people, so you're not going to say that. And another connection with the bell and sound and vibration is the close connection with the Vajra. And we've long talked about the Vajra being electromagnetic technology to opposing torus fields, and this bit in the middle is an inertia plane, exactly like what this place is, and this can create a bumper charge in the day, and probably like a triquarter or something along those lines for healing the inner body. I bet this could have a number of things like this could do, I reckon. But again, it can get charged, this thing, by ringing a bell. So I think the narratives there are markers for when Armageddon happened. And all of the, not only the bells, a lot of like the, you know, basically the bronzes and the brasses of old antiquity were also collected up and apparently melted down, one can presume, for the war effort, for tanks and stuff. But who even knows? A lot of antiquity. So the new bells came. Some of them were new, but some of them survived the war and were brought back to their previous parish. Here they are, being welcomed because they're so important to the community. It's all about the bells. Now, why would that be? And look how healthy they all are. Just particularly healthy, these Polish kids. This is Polish, yes. These are Polish kids. Particularly healthy looking. And then they garnish them with flowers because they're that important. Shine them up beautiful. You can see in World War II some of these. Look at this Jesuit building here. You got the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, and the plasma blast. Some saints have been machine gunned. And this eagle's actually on a nest. Don't see that too many times. But somebody must have been in here, a sniper. And so they're going to definitely replace that. But again, time and the bell connected closely. So if you look at these churches here, you know, they seem to be, you know, I can't really see this. This is like muddy outside, not a graveyard or a street. But there's loads of these Russian photographs here. You can see, or Polish, excuse me. We can see these bells and they're already deep in the mud. How come? The bells are deep in the mud. They've been in there since Mudflood. And then some come back in the church. 1916, after the First World War, they returned some bells, maybe. The rest collected up and destroyed. And then you get this unfortunate happening. Is some papal dude, yeah, coming along, and he's like, Domine de Patri, anal sanctum, or whatever they say. And then he twats water all over it. And that's that bell well and truly fucked then, isn't it, for chiming, because it's just going to give that cursed chime. And the old bells, the beautiful bells, well, they were charmed. And they had a beautiful charm. These things, ping, 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 ping. They sound fucking horrible. It's not Jean-Michel Jarre, is it? It's like, fucking hell. So there he is. I'm not sure if he's actually humping this bell. It looks like he is humping the bell. I definitely think that's the case. Yeah, he's doing rubbing his bell end on the bell. So I don't know why they got these bells on their side, but I definitely think they're doing some sort of ritual voodoo on these. They always say it's God, but they really mean the devil, don't they? We know what's going on. Four, that's a big bell. Look at him. Pink. There's Saint Peculiar there. He's got something on his eyes to make him look extra spooky and weird. Let me look at my big bell. Oh, it's got swastikas on it, is it? Yeah, maybe a couple of swastikas on there as well. That won't hurt. Different times. Not even allowed to have them on bells anymore, are you? This one's got Holy Charm on it. Let's have a look. What number is that? Looks like a 9999999 maybe. See, that is the thing about it as well. See, even the written word has an effect on reality. If you put like the words on a prayer wheel, they go out into the ether and that stuff happens. That comes real. So I think that there was giant bells. Like in the giant realm, if it makes sense, guys, if we were like alongside giants in this realm, and then there's these loads of these big, massive bells hanging around, yeah, that are like really too big for the founding. How'd you get it there on the back of a horse and cart? Yeah, I know. But then you see this, old image of Notre Dame and a giant collecting up all the bells, going off. That's it. You've had your lot. You've had too much of a good thing. But yeah, look at these buried in mud and cracked, huge cracked bells. Some effort, eh? Crack them. So there's Big Ben. They had a bit of a competition in its heyday, before it went up the tower. And they had a big dong and a big clapper. Dong. And then smashed their ears and burst their ears. This one was commemorative for a great exposition. It's craziness. 1776 to 1926. I wonder, look at this. Are you absolutely sure you're not the Third Reich American? When you're just saying these are the same eagles that you get with Adolf Hitler and stuff. Just saying it's all the same. But there you are. A nice, big, massive bell in what looks like the 1920s. Wow, wow, wow. How did they found that thing? Crazy. And it's in the middle of nowhere, really, there, isn't it? It's in a field. I'd love to hear it go off, though. Amplified. And the Chinese, they definitely know a thing or two, the Totalitarian Chinese. This is 1664. And they're doing stuff to their bells. They're not actually up in the air. You can see over there, they're going to put one on top of this tower here. Man, oh man, bells were so important. So important. AC/DC, Hell's Bells, the Bell Tour. I think it was 1976 or 77. Absolutely fantastic they were back in the day. I wish they'd have just stayed fantastic and not shattered my illusions by coming back out as decrepit old people with nappies on. Jolly embarrassing. But yeah, the bells had a big part of it, and the past was erased and the lie became truth concerning the technologies of the old world. So if you can imagine all of the towers of antiquity with the bells, and they're all giving out these vibrations, okay, out into the ether, into the next tower, and then the next tower, and they would combine. It would totally encompass. It would be like Wi-Fi. It would be like Wi-Fi. It would cover every single part of the city with beautiful sounds, but they're not beautiful after they got replaced and destroyed. Am I going to need to give you volume? I hope we've got volume on this. I'll soon know now. Here's a guy, and he's testing on one of these old bells with a tuning fork. Observe. Okay. Okay, so they're giving off a sound and a vibration, as you know. Well, you can see sound and vibration. Now, if you can imagine, okay, that the organs in the churches, but also the bells are giving off that frequency that man just showed you, and then visualize what the sound would be like, and it would look like this. Sound and vision. That's the color of my room, where I will live. Blue, blue. So you can see sound. And as most of you will know by now about the somatics and the connection with the human body and words and everything else that we'll be discovering, water sound image, 12 hertz there. So we are mostly made of water, guys. Okay, so that vibration from the bell would 100% recharge and align our bodies with these frequencies. This is water sound image 432. You can listen to 432 on YouTube. And I do it quite often, all the time, in fact. Sound, water, vibrating. Each water vibration has a different set frequency. Now, you can see all the saints all lit up in the past, and we always say light up, light, rise and shine. And sono, luminescence, is light made from sound. In water, sound with the right frequency can produce a hot bubble that creates a flash of light when it collapses. It's a star in a jar. Okay, guys. Now, we find that vibration, yeah, and we're made of water, yeah. Guess what happens to us? We light the fuck up, is what we do. We would be like, oh, just beautiful, incandescent, like just superhumans, be brilliant. So yeah, Mozart's pretty funky, as you can see, beautiful vibration. John Lennon seems a bit okay, Love's okay. But some of them, you know, peace is lovely, thank you's lovely, but I will kill you. Just saying the word turns to shit, okay? And some prayer as well. It's a nice snowflake. So if words affect the frequency of water, imagine what they do into your body, which is why I don't think unkind things about people or judge anybody and pass through, and then I haven't got to change their frequency, my frequency. They get off of their karmic journey and get on with my karmic journey, and no, nothing's been interfered with. And so is the nature of, you know, the bigger picture and God's business, so to speak. That's what it looks like in Ultra HD. It is a beautiful, this is the nature of reality, really. It's not like trippy pseudoscience. This is a reality, a testable reality that you can see for yourself and you can test for yourself. Beautiful in Mercury, beautiful in water, incredible in Mercury. Mind-blowing things happen when vibrations hit Mercury. It's just wild. I think this might be Mercury testing, if I can see around the edges. You can't get all the large amounts of mercury. They just won't let you. Ultraviolet, caught in a moment. So you can see sound and vibration, and it is very, very beautiful. This whole place is when you get down to the fundamentals of what it really is. Whether or not you go with the atom, I don't. I go with two opposing torities, magnets, switches, basically ones and zeros when you get down to it. Switches on and off. Why? Because I think this is all a technology and we're in some sort of Tron experience, so to speak, changed by our worldviews, what we discover. So the connection with cymatics and churches is definite because they have set all of these church devices, these healing machines, at different frequencies that can be corresponded with the frequencies here. Octaves and music to do a different thing to your body. So they all had different uses, but all of it, as far as I can see, was beneficial. In the days of the golden era. Look at this building here, Russia. Some sort of like power station, golden domes, resonators, just absolutely mind-blowing. They are quite beautiful, some churches inside, you know, don't get me wrong. It's just like, you know, they weren't always like that. So this is another clue, is when I think it was Armageddon, is the Chesterfield Church. This is in northern England, visited there. And it's a spire that is twisted. They say, oh, it started twisted, so the builders carried on twisting. So I was like, what? And it's the only one in the world. There's another one in Poland. Makes no sense, you see, guys. So I think that this twisted this spire, okay, in some apocalyptic event is what I think. And the old, it doesn't matter how small the community, you're going to have one of these churches, a little clock with the bell. with a bell tower. With me in another church. Okay. I think I mean, excuse me, a cathedral there. So let me just bounce forward in this post. Okay. I want to talk about this map and Mudflood changes, and then we see if we can get some sort of date on it all. Okay. So this map here, okay, is of America, North America, and what is supposed to be Alaska, etc. And the map, if you look at the top, has a date of 1752. So 1752, okay, and this is like, to me, I know it's French cartography, but I'm looking at it and it's an official, corresponds to the official where the Arctic Circle is meant to be, and it is an official effort of cartography. So, okay, what are they showing us now? Although on loads of maps, even at this same era, California's an island, but it isn't here. And you can see that a lot of this is still Mexico, New Mexico. There's a bit of the Rockies. And then you get to the end of the Rockies, and then you come up to Northern California, into Oregon, and then boom, you got this massive sea. And then the sea goes on to Grandeur, another sea. And then you think to yourself, okay, where does Canada begin and where does Alaska begin? Good question from here to California. I can't actually work it out myself, but there's a large delta here. So I was looking at all of this orange stuff thinking, well, that can't possibly be designated land, but it says here, terra, inhabitants, Presqu'îles, like an Indian, like a Native American name. So they're an inhabitant. So this is land. And there's a voyage that went around it there in 1741. Is it Alaska? Well, if that's the case, it should have ended over by here, across the Bering Straits, because this bit here, as you can see, is Tartary. Tartary's there, and as you can see, these Russian names here, and you come down into Southeast Asia. Okay. Also, excuse me, also you can see over on the other side, you can see that the Great Lakes are in situ at this period, just behind my viewer over there. So it got me to thinking about that, the Northwest Passage. Apparently you could go through the River St. Lawrence and through waterways that would take you into the Pacific Ocean. Apparently they never really cracked it. It was Shackleton and all sorts of people tried to crack the Northwest Passage. But according to this map, that is like 100% doable. And there would have been a way through to the Atlantic, to the Pacific at this period. And definitely a way through according to this map. What are we to think? If that's a real map of cartography, which it says it is. And why is America so close to Asia? And it would take nothing from Tartaria here to just get on a boat. It's not like it is in the modern day, or crazy like, and you just hop over and occupy and come down into America. Well, how difficult would that be? Let's have a look at some more of these interesting maps. This is the same area on Google. It's called the Great Basin. It is in fact a lake bed. So the map is accurate here for a Great Lake where Oregon is. And then there was Mudflood since this period. So from 1752, when this was a Great Lake, since then, since 1752, there's been a mudflood. Because if you look into it and Google it, all of this is mud flows, it says, all the way to the Pacific Ocean from Oregon, from this place here. So there was one before then as well. That's what I mean, which I'll show you now. Let me just get some of these maps. It's just craziness. This is splatooey. Mind splatooey. So here's another little map of North America. A bit crazy, this one going on. But they give you like Grockland. Now, apparently, Trump is after Greenland. I know exactly why. And all of the Americas are all going to be just one big America. And you're going to have the Emira and all of these things that we knew was coming. I don't know if that everyone would give up their sovereignty in such a nature. I can't imagine some states putting up with it. Like don't mess with Texas, for example. So apparently above America is all of this land, the Hyperborean, on this map. Why are they doing that? And America itself, look. So what's going on with California is big fat wedge and just the one lake on this map. And it is 1529. If you look down in the far right left corner, 1529. And that lake isn't there. Oh, it might be over by here. It's difficult to say. We got Hyperborean 500 years ago because it was there. And then Armageddon's happened and it's probably flooded out. And it's probably receded. And it's probably all like architecture and shit happening. Just keep us away. That's my suspicion anyway. So at this period, there's one or two things. Noah's floods happening. We're recolonizing and finding all that stuff in America. But all of this bit up here, where Alaska is and Oregon, hasn't been discovered or like mapped because it is still all under water, is my suspicion with these old maps. But that's a beautiful bit of cartography. It's half of Australia has been discovered, apparently, according to that map. So that's nice, isn't it? So this is this is an interesting one, an Abazad map, an old flat earther. He's done this one in Boston, and he's got a different take. Interesting. He's got these Arabic words all the way around, and he's got ice, all the way around with some, to keep all the water in. And interesting, he's put these Arab equations in there, though I don't know what he's exactly doing with that Abazad. But I've got a few of his books. So yeah, this is an Orbis Terralis after Noah's flood map from Kirshner, and apparently the white bits that you see, or the bits of blue, are the apocalyptic floods of Noah's flood, which encompassed all of the world. Only the Americas hadn't been discovered there, so they're just literally throwing it out there in 1700s, saying, yeah, it covered all of America as well. We know this for a fact, even though they hadn't been discovered, apparently. We've got Tartaria Maga for the whole of Asia over there. And obviously Hyperborean, which is above us, which is awesome. There's that trippy map. Don't really know how to make of it. It's just craziness. Again, really weird sort of Alaska thing going on. No Great Lakes charted on this map. And, Hudson Bay looks pathetically small. But you have got Hyperborean. Crazy jumps on the maps, wouldn't you say? I wonder where all these islands are as well out here. I don't, Bermuda's there, but are they really there, these big islands? I don't fucking think so. So since then, yeah. And these maps as well. So this one is, I believe, what is the date on this? Anyway, I think it is a 1500. I did get this up before years ago, marked down. But America, this California is connected. It's connected to Asia. Which would, if that was the case, that would explain why the architecture is identical, wouldn't you say? Craziness. Excuse me. And Antarctica, this thing here, whatever this massive landmass is actually connected to South America on these maps as well. Interestingly, but this is a really interesting one because it's got the Persian language. If you could just take a photograph of some of these images with your mind, I find that they actually, these symbols match some of the North American Indians, the Persian language does, especially the Cherokee. Yeah. So I say lingerie. Sure. Anyway, this language. But I've got an island, California, going on again. So just in between, mudfloods. Again, all of this hasn't been mapped because they hadn't discovered it, or the fact that it's still all Armageddon there. We can't really go over there yet because it's all swampy. It's getting drier. If you give it a few years, it'll all dry out. We'll be able to go over there and grow some stuff. Here's a really old map of America. So I don't know why they got Japan just off the coast of America in this. Is very confusing, but there you go. Saipan, Japan, and this is America. But all of America in the past is called Florida. Florida, most of America is called Florida, after lovely flowers. We don't mind flowers, so that's groovy. And you can see the population of America in the images of Theodore de Bray, who's a fantastic artist. Theodore de Bray, there he is there. He's got pictures in this book from 1591. His trip to America, and he didn't see any red Indians at all. He's seen giant white dudes with bubble hats on. They had some painting on them and stuff, probably well mashed up on psychedelics. And they had women, like a lot of women, and they all had ginger hair, and they all had long blonde hair and stuff. So, and their buildings too, like star forts and stuff. So we can look at that now. So yeah, when do you think that happened? The animals came in 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. So there it is. Okay, so Floridians, you got the big panhandle, which is a big fat chunky Florida. I bet that's nice and warm there now this time of year, I imagine. Don't know what that seaway is there. It looks a bit weird. Can't really get my head around what's going on there with it. But the population, when you go there in the 1500s, okay, it's only it's not even 100 years after. And they're all, these people seem to be living in a village. First thing you do, apparently, just whiz through, is get all your fleet in, say hello to the neighbours who've already got themselves a big fasces. Check my fasces. Where'd you get that then? Oh, the last mob that came here, they sold it to me. You've got a remote control for that? Yeah, but I haven't got any batteries. Have you got any AA batteries for my remote control for my fasces launcher? I might be able to sort you out there. You're big, aren't you? Yeah, I'm 6'7", and I could kill you, squat you like a fly. And everyone else, as you can see, is worshipping said fasces. Anyway, so the population of America hasn't necessarily, apparently, they will build a star fort, 1500s. Let's get a star fort knocked up. First thing you do, no problemo, is getting with the ayahuasca. So you can see you're doing some psychedelic stuff, turning the Europeans on. Okay, so everyone's white, and they are very, very big, and they wear bobble hats, and they don't wear much clothes. I think they're like cannibalism as well. They got strange religious practices, and they do witchcraft. So how do they know about Solomon sigil witchcraft out in America when they haven't apparently had any connection with Europeans? It's like, that's what he's discussed, and he's saying they're doing witchcraft, bro. It's like, fuck yeah. What are we going to do with Christians? I don't know. Just smile and pretend you don't know what it is, because that's what's going on. I don't know what they're doing to him, but it's a strange old realm. Don't worry, it's kind of problem. So yeah, let's have a battle with thousands and thousands of big butt naked men. They chop their heads off, which is a bit unfortunate. They got bobble hats on. Get guns, because basically that's the thing though. See, if you've got 10,000 men and they got half a dozen guns, they're going to be able to shoot a few of you and do like what the British do. The British send the Welsh or the Scottish or the Irish over the top first, so they get splattered. Save the English to last. And we'll do something like that. Send others in to get splattered first. Makes perfect sense in war. War is hell, by the way. I don't know what they got on their chests, some sort of chest piece, but they're definitely Caucasian, and they got a bit of clothing tech. They're into tripping and things, and they got loads of honeys, as you will see. Okay, they're into a bit of chopping people up, burning their bobble hats, Yeah. Thing is, you can't knock people's customs if you don't understand the burning of the bobble hat ceremony, guys. Yeah. They've been doing it for thousands of years. I'm guessing this is the boss, Hilito Olatis. He's at least 8 foot tall, and he's looking at him like, yeah, you're saying words, but I'm just not listening because I don't actually like give a fuck. You come into the orgy later. What? Nah, I'm only joking. So here they are. They've got lovely hair, the early Americans, haven't they? Look at these beautiful hairdos that they got. They look like they're members of 1970s heavy metal bands like Free or something, don't they? But the women, they look like they've been a bit enslaved or something because they're crying and wo-hoing. So, yeah, it's a bit like Apocalypto movie, Mel Gibson. I think he got hold of an early Theodore Debray book and ripped it off and made a movie out of it. So, funny, all of the women, okay, in Florida, America in the 1500s are all blonde and ginger. Really weird for such a hot place, wouldn't you agree? Because ginger people, like, they burn like really, really quickly. I'm not sure what that is. It might be a sea slug, something, because they're getting seaweed, aren't they? And seaweed, full of iodine, great for your diet. And we're getting a bit of cannibalism. It's what he would have wanted. Waste not, want not. And check it out, the old pipe of peace pipe. I always wondered what them Indians were smoking, tobacco or something else. They're like puffing away, and there's like, you must smoke to be like in my clang. And then you'd have a couple of puffs and say, yes, I like that, mate. I'm wondering if peace pipe's got something more special in it. So they're like potatoes, and they do gardening semi-naked, and they got long ginger hair. And bobble hats. Bobble hats are definite. So potato harvest is in. Awesome. We're going to have loads of chips. We're going to burn a few lizards on the roast. Makes basically lizard jerky on the old roasteroonie. And then we're going to pretend that we're deers because we're so smart. That's a really, really smart, genius move. Kill a few Komodo dragons. Because to be honest with you, it takes us weeks to eat a Komodo dragon. Komodo kebab. Yeah. And then off down to the lagoon to have sex with mermaids. Because they're still about. As you can see, the staggers into the water. So, yeah, it's not really like the history books, is it, guys? It's not really gelling with what they're telling us about. And now the big roast up. They know exactly which 2 compounds to make ayahuasca. They're going to do a nice big roasty uni tonight. And they're all going to partake. They're all going to have a fucking Disney movie in their heads. And it'll be a happy place. They're getting ready. They're going to get the volatarium out because they're going to be filling up a few buckets full of vomit, which will probably be recycled. Yeah, that's it. Attack the neighboring village, yeah? They got women. See? Smash his head in with an hammer. Look, this is the way. Look, they ain't even having nothing to do with it. It's like, is this absolutely necessary? It's like, butt out of her politics, please. They haven't paid up on their drugs. They owe me. Because I reckon people are the same, whatever culture they're in. It's probably greed. You've got a boss, haven't you? And everyone else seems naked and dancing around because they're all tripping on ayahuasca. Except for that girl. She's crying. Oh, I think it's something to do with the baby. Oh, well, let's not go there. That looks a sad tale. Okay. And then what else do you do? What else are the Dutch witnessing here? It's like, look over yonder. We worship a reindeer. We worship the reindeer. Because we've run out of gods to worship. I've worshipped so many. We can't think of any new ones. Can you think of any new ones? It's like, no, you really got it sorted, yeah? So these are the emperors and the queen and the king. They are absolutely massive. As you can see, twice the size of the average human. These, the council, okay? They are fucking massive. And they got a load of ladies doing a circle dance butt naked. So early days of America are not what you think. long, flowing, beautiful hair, bobble hats, and red silks, just like Jesus, yeah, or like Superman. Look at him; he's all posing. See, they do selfies if they had selfie cameras back in the day. So yeah, Theodore Debray's depictions of America, nothing like what they tell you they are at all. And Mudflood definitely happened earlier than 1733, because in 1733, I'll only show you this one image of this city in Poland that has been dug out of the mud relatively recently. So 1733, you can see that this is ground level, and they've dug an entire city out of the mud. Not completely, there's still mud in the streets here, here, here. These are still mud buried. But essentially, all of it was dug out of the mud. And look at the size of them bloody stuff. So you can see all the mud there. They've cut into it, made a path, tiered it, and you can see the mud flows here. So if I just show you, mark out, you can see this heart shape, it's kidney bean shape of this city. It's completely surrounded by these cliffs, and that is ground level. The city was below ground level because all of this was completely covered in the mud, and that is in 1733. So that looks like it was dug out maybe, who even knows, 100 years before. So that was another reset. And this reset, I believe, this reset. These are the earliest photographs you will ever see of Athens in Greece. You won't have seen earlier photographs of these. These are 1860, and they show you like Acropolis and all of the other Greek monuments. But the whole place is the classical world, isn't it? The home of democracy. Yeah. Interesting peoples. And they come up onto Mount Olympus, where the gods reside, to check out the antiquity, which is caked in a load of shit. Again, with the clingy dresses, like they're wet, like they're in water. Always like that. You get that feeling that they're in water, because that's how dresses stick to people in water. So yeah, somebody came along and completely demolished this, like Baalbek and everywhere else. And in 1860, to be honest with you, it doesn't look like anyone's been there since the event. See the Acropolis here. The Elgin marbles have been stripped off of here, and they're taken to Scotland, pinched by the British. And I bet they've had a lot of other stuff here as well, nicked. So Athens was not the massive city it is today, but look outside, just nothing, mud. And you've got that big temple, excuse me. So the Greeks, the Stoics, it's all Greek to me. Have the same stuff as the Phoenicians, the same dresses with the clingy thing going on. Look at the size of that masonry. Just a smaller temple. Who even knows what went on in there? That could have been a vomitarian, wankatarian, or even a totalitarian. Who even knows? So, nice thick lining for the walls. You know, red brick going on there. The horizontal flat stuff. That could have been Roman filigreeners. But look at the size of this complex. And a bit of a column up there. They've just basically botch jobbed this. Oh, that is on the top of Olympus. Everything just strewn about the place like from Armageddon. Absolutely insane. They've cleaned it up a bit in the modern day. Wonder what that was, guys. They bricked it up so you didn't get in there. Maybe a water feature. Greek men wear like these little frilly dresses, don't they? It's really weird. Have you seen the Greek? I wouldn't say this in front of a Greek soldier, but have you seen how they march? There's some silly matches out there, aren't there? You know, well, that stopped short. That must have been a water container, and that would have gone all the way up to it, and that would have been an aqueduct feeding a town. Maybe. Is my guess. There's a door blocked up there. It wasn't. See the old technologies of the old world. Different pumps, different mechanical workings. They would just blow your mind. They had it all. You've seen Flash Gordon, haven't you? Emperor Ming. Seen the Emperor Ming's daughter? It's not all that bad. So yeah, we've seen these a few times, these statues. They literally lasted since apparently the ancient Greeks. First, as I said, a democracy, but that was the Stoics. There's a strange story about them, aren't they? Stoico bastards. And all of the famous philosophers. Plato, Socrates. And the language of Greek gave us things like the Bible things. So what they do in more impoverished people, they look a bit blonde, maybe. They're definitely Europeanish, and they carry in sacks of jugs of wine. Seems to all be about the wine in antiquity, doesn't it? It's not even that good wine. I think they have anything better, like tequila, for example. I bet they'd have soon got rid of that wine if they'd have tasted a margarita. All this stuff's black. And where's the top gone? Imagine the force of the wave that come over and took that away. Poof, all the way up there as well. But look, Athens ain't even there, guys. It's not even really there. It's just over there. You see the suburbs, but just imagine the heat just as well. It's amazing. Armageddon style. So there's still a brick up there and a big stone there. Didn't actually fall off. 1860. And there seem to be moving people for such an early photograph. But again, with the vanilla skies. Look at the size of that up there on the hill. A lot of it looks melted underneath. They keep building on top of older and older again. Mount Olympus I bet it's full of caves and shit. So the population is booming in this town, Athens, isn't it? Look at it. Mudflood out there. Like nobody's there, is there really? Just discovered it. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Look, the mud comes all the way up there. Huh. And there's a little pile of mud in front of it too. The rest looks dirty. What's it dirty for? There's no cars. So there's them Greeks again in their funny little dresses they wear. I dig that it's odd, but fucking hell, you know. See, if that was me, I wouldn't have gone down that road. Not a man, anyway. Yeah, it looks like something like the Reichstag, like a load of machine gun bullets hit it in the past. Look at the holes. But obviously that's not the case because this is 1860. Hang on, look at this. Looks like machine guns have splattered it at the Reichstag, Berlin. There's like a window and like a little bunker thing there. Can you see that, guys? Like a little building made out of all bits of Acropolis. See that? It's that long. Huh, that's weird. What are the Greeks ever done? What you think? Do you know what a Greek earns? 20 quid a week, apparently. So they got a nice big. I've been to this port. This is Piraeus, I think, port for Athens. Went there once. Remember bits. So yeah, it lasted well, didn't it? From ancient antiquity, actually since the fucking Bronze Age. Brilliant. Look at the size of that there. Imagine the scale of destruction to do that to giant pieces of masonry. People didn't do it. Maybe giants can manage. The rest of it looks incinerated. Look at this. Looks incinerated. 1860. That looks incinerated. Sure, we didn't miss a world war and they haven't told us anything about it, guys. Because that's supposed to be from, you know, thousands of years ago. I don't even get that. That's just mad. Okay, well, it looks like, again, you know, these big, what was it, giants with axes? Like literally battling one another. Wow, that's just mental. I think these are the Elgin marbles. I don't know what they actually depict, but I'm going to put my fire on. It's going to be cool. halogen. Okay, are we absolutely sure that there was no world war that they're not telling us about in the 1800s? Because this is 1860. And Acropolis looks like it's been splattered with machine guns. Anybody? Wouldn't you say? Jesus. That's just mental. And that's like under Acropolis. We got all of these vaultings. And where did they go, I wonder? The faces to huge buildings that are inside the cliff or the hill itself. Olympus. They reckon they got the biggest mountain in the solar system on Mars. They renamed it Olympus Mons after the Greek Olympus that we're looking at. So the walls are gone to that. I would have gone through to this amazing classical civilization. Flying machines probably, and hover cars like they got in Star Wars. You know, the ones like Luke Skywalker got. Them. I definitely think they had them. Why? I don't know. Just got that buzz. Okay. So that's Athens. Right. Now, I'm not sure if I'm actually sharing audio. I want to put this on for a second so I can actually leave the camera for leave the show for a bit, 2 seconds. I can be excused. Excuse me, make sure to subscribe. Okay, enjoy. This is graveyard art. It's beautiful. Okay. There is beauty. That was macabre, but also beautiful, all at the same time. So we're going to go through. Hi, Elisa, just turns up in chat. Wide Awake Wales. Bore da. Cardiff homie. Okay, you're all still here, 800 of you. Jolly good. We're going to go through images of the day now. This is Martin in his previous incarnation as a fucking Walmart employee, basically. But I met a Dalek on a bank holiday Monday, and I was talking to the man inside there, and I said, "What's it like in there?" He said, "It's fucking boiling, and I'm dying for a fag." I said, "Do you think I get a job as Dalek?" He said, "Don't see why not. It sucks a bit though." So what about exterminating? Press a button, and he went, "Exterminate, exterminate." This is from a famous BBC. Nobody likes him in Britain anymore. BBC. Program called Doctor Who, but it is about time traveling. So I studied this for about half an hour, but I can't really work it out. It's all in Greek. I can't work out if it's actually hemispheres of the mind. I know it's swastikas and Jewish signs in there, and the course or the path of what I thought was magnetism over a double torus, but then I couldn't really work it out if this was a map of the Earth. Maybe somebody screenshot it and speak Greek and tell me what the fucking hell that is, because I can't. Whatever it is, it's a little bit beyond me. Or maybe not. So any of you seen that comet last week that was apparently flew off into the horizon somewhere? Comets are really interesting. They've always been a fascination. Another fascination is I'm thinking of visiting South Africa. What do you think? Maybe the Congo. Joseph had a dream of New Atlantis. Let's have a look. What? Don't say you didn't like that. So apparently Noah's floods happened in 1876. That's good. And if you look down here on these weird spheres, you can see the azimuthal equidistant of Americas. And then there's another thing connected to another landmass, which is called Mars. And it goes to another landmass, which is called Jupiter. I find that really fascinating that it's all like attached to an azimuthal map, almost like there's other lands. And this bit here as well, like there's other lands. Really interesting how they got the planets on strings. You know, because basically it's all bullshit, isn't it? So the old world and the new world. And look what they got up there. The old clockaroonie. Just amazing, really. Oh, I think this might be something to do with Masonic understanding. I don't know. It's just come up on Pinterest or something. The 3 grand divisions. But I thought it was interesting where they say things are located in the Brian. So art. Well, I'm definitely a creative artist is what I do mostly. So that's something to do with that part of the mind. Letters. Well, no, I'm a bit dyslexic, so I'm not sure about that. Science. This part here is a void to me. Culture, religion, and marriage. So it seems like I've got a big empty void in this part here. Labour. Well, I'm Welsh. Not since Stammer, not Labour anymore. Rulership. Oh yeah, definitely a leader. Wealth. You know, family. Yeah, like an extended world's family of many, many, many people. Home is beyond. It's just beyond in front of your euro, and commerce is at the back of your head. So that's where the business comes from. That's why you get a headache at the back of your head there. So it's interesting. So. Sexation. What's sexation? It's not like sensation, sexation. So what's it called? The violation of elect effect. The violation of effect, all within a Solomon sigil. So that's a different way of thinking, surely. I don't know. So Look at this crazy Masonic lie. All happened at the same time, probably 500 years ago. Got the Holy Bible, the Vatican, the Jesuits, the All-Seeing-Eye, the Imperial Eagle, all of this thing here. You get that on the American dollar and the big G, man, the big G above. And a big fuck off swastika. And funnily enough, fascism is in now. It's the thing, isn't it? So these are stars, and stars look like somatic patterns. They wave like somatic patterns. It looks like they are forms of light coming through a medium of water, because I think that is exactly what is going on. What are stars? They are lights in the sky. Lights with pretty colors, and they got somatic patterns, so they had a frequency initially, a sound. I think, regardless of what other parts of Earth think, I think this is what's going on by magnetic propulsion and attraction on four angels. Is the sun and moon are just skimming around like that, and they come back in for spring and spring back out again to the Capricorn, and back in again and then back out again, just like that is doing on that table. It's what I think. I think these think it as well. This is supposed to be the Winchester table. Some think it's the table of King Arthur. Okay, I had a crazy email this week. Somebody got all excited, said, "Martin, you know that image you showed last week? He was an errant." He said, "You know that image you showed last week of the Phoenix, and it had like Lucifer and everything?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I had goose pimples, man. And when you read Loki, I just freaked out. I was like, and then he asked me if I was actually Loki or one of them, which I couldn't actually answer because I don't know what I am. Pan-Sophia. I think I'm just a Martin. I really do. I think I'm just a new thing. A Martin. That's what I think. A new model. Unlike the old models, this one does other stuff that nobody's done before. Thinks things that nobody's really thought. And changes the world. So don't go into the light, guys, because apparently there's a big tunnel, just like in movies, that leads you out of this inner hell place that they say is below us. So we'll all find out one day what's going on. I'm just glad my mother died knowing the truth. My mother was always well on the ball. She told me when I was a kid, like, there's nothing happening in space. So what are you on about? Yes, it is. They went, they're going to the moon and that. No, Martin. She said that nobody is doing any of that shit. It's not doing it. They can't do it. And as soon as Flat Earth come along, my mother embraced it. So she knew everything about the health service, everything that was going on about everything, even the free man stuff. She knew it all. She turned me on to it all. And me, that's a fanboy, wasn't even listening. Thought I fucking knew it all, didn't I? I was doing what they do. Taking the higher moral standpoint because I know better, because I watch Ancient Aliens and I listen to George Norrie, so I knows best. I know stuff. So this is the game. Look, this is what's happening. This is karma. Here's the British coming to India in the 1800s, and they're like, "Wow, you've got lovely stuff." It's like, "Yes, we have lovely stuff. Do you want some of it?" "Yes, well, but we haven't got any money. But what we do is have loads and loads of this thing called drugs. Have you heard of drugs?" "No, what is it?" "Well, let me give you a little smoke of this. Have a little whiff of that. What do you think?" "Oh, yeah, I like this." "Well, give us all your gold, all of your women, especially them topless ones over there, okay? And all of your buildings, and in fact, all of your country. Signed here now on release of death. Okay? Okay. Yes, I'm too stoned to fight you." And he summoned her away. Now, tables have turned completely. Now Britain is on its ass, and we're the poor people, and everyone else, even Britain is so poor at the moment, even the birds are chucking food to us now. Yeah, I know. Here's the Great British Empire, 1887. We ruled the world. All the pink bits was ours. Even the non-pink bits we had a bit of a thing on, because we had all of the drugs, you see, the opium and other things as well. It's what the world is revolving around. Yeah, all you need, just like like Trumpsky at the moment. This is why I You know, I respect him as an actor. I think he should have had an Oscar for the speech, and I really dug it. Got a little bit of a buzz on, and you know, I quite like him. You know, in a weird way. But it's that Baron you've got to watch out for. If he's not the Antichrist, I will eat my hat that I haven't got on. Oh, fucking hell. Did you see him having a weird experience with Elon Musk? It's because they were both apparently super geniuses, and their ingenious bubbles were bouncing into one another. And then you've got Elon Musk trying not to look at Baron Trump because he's obviously infinitely more intelligent. And Musk, just being an actor, is talking bollocks about going to fucking a dot in the sky. So that's what I think is going on. I think like Baron's like, yeah, he's just like in toe rags, not like any of you. When I rule a world, which he will, I'm just going to have hot women everywhere. Ban fast food. So this monk, he's been meditating a while, and an angel showed up. But the angel, it looks like the angel may have some sort of gadget, like that he slotted himself into, you know, like in a marsupial sort of nature. This Jesus guy, it's like a chicken suit, and it flies. So he's not like an angel. He's got like some winged technology, a fluffy winged technology that he's got in. See, nothing as you think it is. Yeah, so these basically, and more monkey dudes, they've been having a prey. Basically, when they get all together, like witches, eventually they summon up Satan, I mean Jesus, and then levitate on a cloud, because you've got that divine thing, see, the divine sparkage of magic, Satanism, and it just makes them float. So let's watch our city burn down, just like out of our control. Nobody's bothered, really. That's 2 images. So, you know, our Albano Monte map, it was a big fuss about it, and everyone said, oh, yeah. And there's videos saying that the outside lands are mag-ups of what's going on in the inner realm. Well, not this map. This is not an Albano Monte. And as you can see, all the way around this azimuthal flat earth map is loads of beasties, loads of lands, and loads of mountain ranges. Why do you think they made that map if it's not true? There's bleeding loads of them. Anyway, back to church windows. Yeah, I think that might have... They got some Danish dude on there, which is probably all right. Probably pagan. Looks like a pagan-y dude. He's got nice curls on his beard, though. And you can get them in the middle of somatic windows for churches. They do interfere with the resonance by putting these statues and stuff on, I've noticed. And, you know, mucky it up a bit. So here's an American city after it's been dug out of the mud. You can see beautiful Tatarian building, sure. And the doors are up in the air on these buildings, right up in the air. You can see that old building in the background. Every single American city's got these things. Every single small town as well. And the grid was already there. The streets were already there. The infrastructure was ancient. Can you imagine in the past all of these spires, all of the bells and all of the technology going, excuse me, what people were like, living like that? That's in the Mediterranean, Africa, it says. Minarets. So, wow. Ptolemata, Port of Ptolemata, city of Ptolemata. I think that might be Algeria. So, yeah, there's beauty in the world, isn't there, guys? It's just where you put your perspective. You know, people seek they seek subjects that fear attached. And I understand the realms like that, and it is a protection mechanism because know thy enemy, understanding, Sun Tzu, all of that. I get it. But that is what you should do, is just get the understanding, use it as knowledge base, data, and then move on and not dwell on it. And look at that lovely flat water. Imagine just sitting there, nice and warm and cushy. Yeah. thinking nothing in particular. Not worried about anything. No tax men, no weirdos, no nothing going on. Just chilling the fuck out and enjoying the beautiful water, the sky. Because the best things in life are free. That's true. Nuclear bombs is something they've been scaring people with, but I think they're shit. Right, so this is a nuclear bomb crater. All of them are nuclear bomb craters. Yeah, because it's Nevada where they've been doing the Trinity tests, and they've been doing in the sands some nuclear tests. Well, nuclear bombs are massive, aren't they? These are pretty shit craters for nuclear bombs. It's like if you've got like Houston, which would be as far as the eye could see, 4 million people, which would fill everything you see in this picture 10 times over, and you drop one of these little fatty things in the middle, I doubt anyone would fucking notice. I'm just saying, this stupid anyway. So this ginger dude looks a bit like Ed Sheeran. I'm not sure who he is. Very, very orange going on. I think Arthur C. Clarke plagiarized the Mandelbrot set from these medieval images, because that is a Mandelbrot set down there. I've magged up on a better image, and I have this image actually on my wall as well. What an understanding of this place the Asians had. Well, it's got a compass on it, though. Trippy stuff. So a German gentleman sent me this photograph and said, this is real, here it is. And I said, well, no, obviously it's AI, isn't it? And you've got someone floating up in the air that's taking photographs of the Earth. I said, there's no clouds. Where's the clouds? And he wrote back angrily. He's got nine, there's clouds. And I'm like, well, yeah, dude, but there's supposed to be weather patterns. Yeah, I can see 5 fucking clouds on the whole of Earth. And the map's laid out in a Mercator projection and not an azimuth equidistant, although it is very, AI. I explained how it can possibly be, because as you can see, it's all up and down, like a Mercator. He got really upset. He didn't really like that I said it was bullshit, and obviously it is. This place is a bit muddy. It is on the river, I'll give it that, in Russia. But look at the mud. Fuck. Excuse my language, I can't help myself. I've got Tourette's. And plus, like I explained, I'm bastardizing the English language because it's all spells and witchcraft, and I don't really be into that. So there's that. Right, what deal's going down? We've got the jester come in. He's from No City. He's got a flower. Check his nose. So we got some scales. He's got a load of gold. What's he scoring, guys? What's he scoring? Seeds. Seeds for flowers. Are these seeds? These are seeds. Seeds. I bet they're for drug trees, though. That's some sort. So a lot of gold for seeds, eh? Seeds must be worth a bit, man. So here's the Phoenicians. They just arrive on these submarines. Here's St. Bernard, and he's on the back of a giant whale, and he's managed to dock his ship on the back of said whale, have a little sermon, witchcraft, and then land in some country. And this is what the missionaries did, apparently. This is down in the Canary Islands, on the back of a Phoenician whale, who's got a name, by the way. As you can see, it's a technology, because whales haven't got 2 blowholes, they got 1. Okay, he's a Jewish Jesus. He's got his red cape on, just like Superman. This one's part angel. No horns. He's got the 2 fingers sticking out. I think he just sniffed them. And again, with the Phoenician whales in a chem cloud. That was in the water. The Phoenicians in the water. That's what it is, basically. This is probably one for wiser. But this is in Iran. And as you can see, something has zapped it, and it's fallen in on itself, an old complex. And all of these buildings that were around it have been turned into bubblicious. Lots, stacks and stacks. Get over to Wiseup's channel. He'll fill you in on what's going on with all of that. So why in antiquity have they got Jessica? Is this something to do with getting in touch with your feminine side or something? That's all to do with feelings and stuff, isn't it? I don't know. So what is it about? Yeah. Times have changed in America. I hear there's only men and women. I hear that you won't get a passport if you've just put an X on there. You're not going to get a passport. You've got to either be a bloke or a chick, you know, has God made. So and what's going on with Jessica? I don't know. What's going on with him and Mary Magdalene? Who was sucking whose titties? I don't know. So yeah, here's the Phoenicians. He's on another whale. I think they're a craft. And the first thing you're going to come and do is play a bit of tunes. Loosen them up a bit. So yeah, this is some strange language on an old bas-relief type of affair. And it's basically just diagrams, upside down mushroom, upside down spectacles. This upside down spectacles thing is all over. And there's an hourglass, MOD. So there are words, blow, and words sort of, amen, Amun-Ra, made into a pyramid, the A, interestingly. So I've been having a look, and just because it's cipher, isn't it? I'm into puzzles and ciphers, and I'm recognizing this sort of stuff all over. I think it's early Phoenician. So here's a nice, interesting bas-relief from Mesoamerica. You can see he got his bong out, and he started tripping, and then he's just seen them alien people that live in ayahuasca land that are really cutchy and very pleasant people that live in that land. Some of you may or may not have known about. In another dimension, nice bit of spiralage going on in the middle. I don't know what that's about. But that's just my interpretation. It could be something else completely going on. Obviously, I'm just sharing my thoughts. So, draw a reality, Phoenician. They never wear any clothes, do they? These are some of the other models that they tried in some of the other cubes that people were living in, the experiments. Different rules to each cube, not one knowing what the other cube is doing. And she's just doing some designing, highly scientific stuff in a mirror. So, interesting that Beelzebub is Bell-Z-Bob, like a bell is in it. And also Ball is like bell as well, I've noticed. Ball is almost bell. So I couldn't possibly in 1,000 years tell you what's going on with this strange alchemical picture, except for he's got a face and a beard and legs. He's got furry underpants. He's got furry underpants. This is antiquity. It's a very strange place. Antiquitech on the head. This guy, you can see by his eyes, he's super genius. He can like literally just knows everything just by one glance. And do you know what's making him like it? That shit on his head. Stuff on his head. In fact, he might just have a head that's that shape and go right the way up to the top, like a cone head. But I can't prove that. I love these maps. These are really good. Look, Asia Minor on Tartaria is on the wing. I love that. So we've got the Scythians over there, where they would be further south. The Tartarians we got a whole wing. The Scythians, they can't take off. And Europe, the Med, Asia Minor, Persia, and India's got a leg. India's got a big leg. And the Caspian Sea is orientated east. Something just exploded, guys, really loudly. And I felt the shock wave off of it. I'm not sure it was a firework. Don't worry. People in this country are on pins and very angry at the moment. The atmosphere is tense. It really does feel like it could snap, but it's too cold for rioting. They wait till the summer in Britain. So have a little riot in the summer. So again, right in the back, you know, these religious people of a whatever that is, and in this case, like a whale or something carries you around, and he carries his boat because I guess he's a giant. Spooky. So, yeah, Cherokee alphabet and syllabary is these symbols, and they're the similar symbols. How did the Native Americans know similar symbols to like Asian European cultures, like Persians? The cross, this upside down A, the T. So many similar. It's really crazy. Anyway, so Jason like this, the old vapor canopy giant critterage. So we got giant, I don't know if they're what birds they are, but they're big. And you ride bollock naked, mind, on the back of a big, I don't know what that is. But they're furry, so I'm guessing it'll feel nice on your butt when you're riding around. Or sweaty, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it, I don't know. Large creatures anyway. And I can't persuade all of Britain to actually leave this island, because I have faith that Britain will one day eventually return. I just can't see immediately how that would happen. But another alternative is a sea nation. Oh, it's happened. You have plenty of people that are pissed off to sea, big Tatarian houses like this one, and loads and loads of boats all link up together out in the ocean and make your own country, and then live off fish and love. Okay. So Delaware Main Street. This is 1869. And I think this one is in St. Louis. You can see that building there is completely buried by mud. So they didn't really dump the mud against the building. Building has been dug out of said mud because of said mud flood that is on the title of this video. There's loads of evidence of them. Burnt out building, a rock levee. 1870, and you can see that it is buried in the big mud lahars. So we're all getting like synchronicities with numbers. Let's find out what some of them may possibly mean. 111, one of my favorites, the intuition, encourages you to keep following your spirit, and you are on the right path. Just listen to your gut and your heart. So that's true. If you ever get a nudge and you should do something, go with it, even if it's maybe against your better judgment, or that you feel it, that it might make things worse. Maybe if you're trying to make something better. If your gut tells you and your heart tells you, you get a little nudge, go with it, because it's your intuition and it is never wrong. Is my advice. 222, the bright one. The right place at the right time. Trust in what you want and don't think about what you don't want. So basically, instead of fixing your mind on your fears and replaying them over and over in your mind, like 9 out of 10 times, that's never going to happen anyway. It's just out of the random field of possibility. Dump that and just think about the juicy stuff that will happen instead, the delicious thing. 3 equilibrium, mind, body, and spirit. Focus on all 3 aspects. Don't neglect one for the other. Okay. 444 protection. The universe and spiritual guides are protecting you. Pay attention to your thought. Okay. Well, see. 555, the change. The change is occurring. The universe is moving things around for you. That's a definite, and that happens. It just all falls into place on certain days. And I'm like, it's making sense now. 666, the step back. Take a step back and rethink it and ask yourself, is what you're doing right or wrong? Okay, that's a good one. 777, the inner strength. Release all fear, be strong at heart, and look forward to the future with excitement. So today we had 7s in the chat to start the show. I literally said, I shit you not, this is going to be a lucky show about 7s. And all of you guys, this is Simone now, Willowbrook, 777 us, Liddy, 777 us. Fucking hell, talking about magic. 888, balance. You're in harmony with the universe, and your thoughts and actions are also in harmony. Sweet. Swahit. 999. The wrap up. Time to start a new journey and wrap up loose ends. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Let go of what does not serve you anymore. I think we should all do that a little bit, shouldn't you think so? Definitely practicing most of these things. You found reality. So this is an interesting alchemical picture, eternal nature. It says abyss, or bis and abyss. So like they're 2 separate things, bis and abyss, which I wasn't aware of. Nothing and all time and eternity. Nothing and all time and also an eternity, like 3 separate options, and not necessarily all including time. So I'm fascinated about time, or the passing of time. I've always been really fascinated with timepieces, and now I know why. So in 1984 book, George Orwell, everything other than working was forbidden. Walking in the streets, having fun, singing, dancing, getting together, everything was forbidden. So being brave isn't supposed to be easy, but is the key to moving forward. Whoever Sam Burns is, there's a good quote, because I agree with that. It's always going to be tough when you're being brave. It's never going to be easy. It was never going to be easy being a warrior, guys, a spiritual warrior. It was not going to be easy. How can it be? Look at the opposition. The alchemist is one who transforms their pain into wisdom, and never a true word said. If you can do that, you've nailed it. Yeah, learn by that pain, that trauma, and turn it into a learning curve. I know now. I see the patterns, and we'll do it again. Truth vibrates at a specific frequency. You don't only hear it, but you also feel it. That's why you get so many goose pimples on this channel, I guess, guys, because we do that a lot, don't we? We strike a chord. So here's an anomalous two fingers sticking out of a portal in antiquity, almost as if they got portal technology or something going on. But again, it's like a screen, isn't it? It's like maybe these screens were round in antiquity rather than square. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like an apocalyptic train crash, but these people have caused it with these very unusual cannons that I've never actually seen before on bicycles. One's on a bicycle. And yeah, it's a pretty gnarly image of strange people doing strange things. They fear love because it creates a world they can't control. That's the bottom line, guys. That really is the bottom line. Yeah, because they haven't got love. They don't understand it, and they don't understand that people will, like, in some cases, give their life or whatever. It doesn't matter. Love comes first. The people and the love comes first. Fuck them and the controllers. And these, they will never understand us. They won't ever get that. They just never will. So it's a beautiful X city. Oh, look at this beautiful X city. So there you go. Reset in action, guys. It's there. Don't worry, build it back anyways. So I would build back better. Sorry, I don't know what that got in there, but we'll just look at it for a second. Yeah, okay. Feel happy. My wife told me that sex is better on holiday. It's not the best postcard I've ever received. One more. They fear love because it requires honesty and self-reflection. Yes, my brother. So here's more strangeness from the church. I think this is a saint or something, and they just left a Nash's in. Yeah, and there's like actual eyeballs. She's got like a slit throat as well. So we won't look into the the reasons for how she got killed at all. Is it interesting how many 33s there are in reality? 33 vertebrae. I could just go on. I got like dozens of 33s, and especially to do with the human body and everything, really. It's right in there. Maybe not such a bad number. Although a lot of the psyops are 33s, CC. Anything beginning with CC. So years ago, you used to be able to go into maybe a railway station and get electricity for life. You put coin in, crank the handle. Okay, probably only 1 penny, yes. And basically it cured rheumatism, nervousness, yeah, because it headaches and neuralgia it cures. No shock, no danger. Electric treatment. Try it. So 1 penny in the Victorian era, okay, turn the handle, yeah, plug yourself up to it or whatever, like a tens machine, and then you get like a subtle charge and it cures headaches. Why haven't we got these now? Because they won't make any money. Who remembers going down the shops for their mum? Well, I do. She used to write me a list, and basically she knew that I would try and fiddle the list for cheaper items so I could get a bag of sweets out of it, or a 10p separate. If you don't know what 10p separate is, it's a cigarette they sold you down the sweet shops. So I used to get like a little fag, little MC or a number 6, and a bag of sweets on the way home. Whiff the fag as quick as you could, and she go, you spent any of this money? Where's my change? So here it is. My mum spent anything, and I got all like blue all over my mouth or something. Like, I've been eating sweets, I can see. All right, I have. I was I couldn't lie anyway because I kept laughing, so I gave it up. It was not really convincing. They fear love because it creates a world they can't control. I said that, but that's a nice image to do with comets. The little holes in the firmament, letting the light through. So yeah, whoever set that hourglass, oh my God, yeah. So basically, get them on side, get them to keep turning the hourglass over and over so it never empties, and we fucking nailed it. And then just turn the clock back on the old time thing so we actually stop time and don't get any older, and then start enjoying life. Here's San Francisco. Its earliest photographs, apparently. I don't show what the aerial is on the hill, or the cross is on the other hill. But apparently this is San Francisco in the Wild West days. And a load of like businessmen in the grass there. Really unusual to have them there with all of these buildings. Got restaurants, big aerials again. But apparently most of San Francisco hasn't turned up. There are tents on the hill. There are tents on the hill. Why would that be? So it's an interesting little picture, isn't it? So belief is the death of intelligence. I don't do that myself. It's got a lie in the word belief anyway, so I think it's a big giveaway. If you're going to be, basing all your existence in your, and cause yourself trauma and pain on things that you cannot prove in this place, just whimsical thoughts invented by controllers to keep you fucking kerfuffled in a world of bullshit and fantasy, well, that's belief. That is a belief system. It's what cult's based on. Belief systems. You will believe this, you will believe that. Yeah, I don't see like the church any difference from the Heaven's Gate cult. It's all the fucking same to me. Fuck off. So here is another image of, let me just in case there's music with that. Cymatics in cube form, and this is basically sound and vibration, and it's put into a 3D generated model. But this is how our reality is oscillating, and you can see cubes folding in within cubes, but sound and frequency and doing that within our bodies right now as I'm speaking to you. You charm that with vibration and become beautiful, beautiful beings of light and love. Because love has got an awesome vibration to love as. Ooh, I want to see it, so juicy woosy. And that is vibration. That's what I'm doing. Can you see the flower in there as well? The little flower of life in the middle. It's absolutely beautiful. So I can't tell you which frequencies, but they're just different frequencies generated through there and are creating that, that matrices. But they say that about the Bible. I always was fascinated with. I read the Bible code books by Michael Drosnin, Eli Rips, and basically said there was a hidden code in the Veda, which I was always really fascinated with. Because they said it was a multi-dimensional vortices, like a computer code, if you like, which I was always fascinated with. So we had these things in the past. Well, you belong on the telephone box. Yes, no, I'm just going to be a minute and just talk to my boyfriend. Hurry up, or we will exterminate. They're very hysterical. So have you ever flobbed on anyone's head? I haven't. I wouldn't do such a thing as a child. Oh, word. Quick, it's the drug squad busting the door down. Eat the stash. Eat the stash. Eat it all. Swallow it. Swallow it. Oh, look. It's the baby cheese. No, it's not. Life is so funny, isn't it? Here's Germans. They're getting fit. This is what they want. This is what next for you American people is. You're going to have people making you keep fit and do stuff. It's not all bad, though, guys. It's not all bad. As long as they're not shouting at you. So I hate it when people act all intellectual and talk talk to me about Mozart when they've never seen one of his paintings. Somebody actually said in my comments that they've been Googling Mozart and they can't find any of his paintings. I'm not sure if they were joking or they actually really did it. So Truman got out here, didn't he? Do you know what he did? He got a ladder, or he went up the stairs out of the fake fucking ass wall that was there that looked like reality. So yeah, it's all an illusion anyway. So I'm just saying, what did Einstein say? It's all an illusion, albeit a persistent one. It is. So here's Pink Floyd, and they got two flowers interacting with one another in a what you could call a sensual nature. Still pretty good though. Is there anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anybody home? No. No, I don't think there's any exterior world. I think all is mind. I don't think it's there until you actually put your awareness there. So it's nature of consciousness. So it's no point worrying about things when it's all an illusion and there's nothing out there at all. But if there is, it's this tosspot here with the hourglass. So he looks like he's a Ferengi or something. He looks like he'd take a few quid to turn that thing over now and again and keep us going. So here's Sol, Satan. He's been held up by a couple of Cherubinuskis and a couple of fighting dogs. So I'm guessing there's a shit ton of symbology in there, especially the flooded world in the background, by the way. So I've still got almost 800 people in my chat. Thank you for being here this week. Hope you've enjoyed. And if you would share this video out, I'm sure it's very share worthy. Anyway, I'm going to be back this week. I got other posts written and ready to produce. They're going to be mind blowing, and I've got a live event this Wednesday coming with Jason Brashears. That's going to be very epic as well. I'm going to talk about all this stuff. So 30 months in 1928, they were going to squish a month in April by there. Oh, like Sol it was going to be called. June, Sol, July, August. An extra month of work for you all. And an extra month of taxation for us. But they didn't do it. Or maybe they did. Dun, dun, dun. Can we get on your bus, please? No, you can't. You haven't got any legs. You can't get up the stairs. We can lift us on the bus or we will exterminate. They're like, they need Dalek Valium. You ever seen Davros? He's like Davos. Davros is like Davos. So there's a beautiful timepiece, isn't it? The effort they had in timepieces in the past. I'm sure that's a flat earth map on the top, but we can't make that bit there. So we had data in the machine. And it's about coordinates, and they definitely know that. And where your awareness goes. Keeping a positive vibe. Magnetism is a good one. Look at this. Nature's tonic. Makes blood circulates, giving health and strength. But unfortunately, we haven't got any electric magnetism technologies in the modern day for us to be healthy and feeling good. I don't know whether you've seen this in the newspapers this week. And Biden bites Trump on the bum in Asda's car park. Yeah, he did. Apparently, he got a bit close to Melania as well. He was trying to touch her up and sniff her and stuff. But after Biden went, basically, Barron goes over to Biden in the elite standy place and says, "You're fucked, mate." And he looked really unhappy because he knew he was fucked, because Biden, when he rules the world in 20 years' time, whatever's left of the world, 20 years' time, I mean, he's like, what a job I got. How come I get to be Armageddon president? It's like, well, your mother's really nice looking now. Melania. She smashes it on the clothes, don't she? Fucking hell. She reminds me of old Sharon Tate for some reason. So your electric culture, yeah, you can get your plants growing juicy and big. Just put some coils and some orgone type technology of, again, nesting technology, amplify that chi, get your potatoes stonking. And do you know another little tip as well? If you take them straight out of the ground, the potatoes, and throw them straight into the pot and put them straight on, they'd be the best tasting potatoes you will ever have. Because they are fresh and still alive. You can see the torus there, double torus, just like our human body. That's how it's going to work. Electroculture. So here they are. Here's the clock. Definitely a case. All the different times for the resets. The deal going on. Yeah. I'm good cop. I'm bad cop. They'll probably swap around next time. He'll be bad cop. He'll be good cop. Go on, fuck her. No, leave her alone. She's gentle and beautiful. No, go on, fuck her brains out. No, don't touch her. She's innocent. Nah, go on, fuck her. You know, that sort of thing, which is what's going on in human consciousness. Probably not all of you, but that's what's going on with the devil and Jesus argument. So cathedral words as compared to somatic frequencies, you can see that they correspond with octaves of piano notes, and they are exactly the same. They also look like a fasces looking down, like a wire, and it's all of this antiquitech technology, which is mind-numbingly mind-blowing when you find out about it all. Just like this beautiful somatic pattern frozen in ice. Nature, see, there is beauty in the world. This is your Brian on somatics. Yeah, there's a new drug. It's called somatics. No, it's not. You can see the left and the right hand hemispheres are two opposing toruses. Actually, symmetry are two opposing toruses. The left hand and the right hand, the mirror image of one another. And they run exactly the same with the torus, ripping around this way, ripping around this way. Double torus, exactly the same as the place where we live. It's absolutely mind-blowing. The pineal gland, you know where that's situated, definitely absorbs light. They say that, you know, obviously they say fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. I wouldn't say that's the case. I live in a city without fluoride, and maybe that's why I'm so tuned in. I'm not quite sure. To protect your energy, focus your actions, not others. Focus on your actions, not others. That's brilliant. That's what I'm practicing on doing. Learn to say no. Oh, listen, I think I better fucking absorb these. Okay, learn to say no. Yeah, that's where I've been going wrong. Focus your actions, not others. Yeah, that's what I got to do as well. Pause before responding. Don't shoot your mouth or think about what you say before you open your fucking mouth. Good one. Set and respect your boundaries. Yeah, set and respect your boundaries. Otherwise, you're going to just get cuckooed or whatever. That's a good one. Invest in those who invest in you. Yes, you've got faith, good friends, and you know they're just there for your life, and you invest in them because you know they're keepers. Okay. See how things are all to do with other people and none of them are to do with items. Isn't that funny? Share when you feel safe. I don't know. I've never had peace of mind in my life. I'm hoping that one day I might actually have it. They leave me alone. Actively listen and expect the same in return. So that's something I've been practicing, is keeping my gob shut and actually listening to other people, even if they are talking a load of bollocks, which is often the case. Suck it up and listen. It's being polite. Trust your instinct. That I've always done that one. Allow yourself to pull back when you need to. Is that a sexual term? Sorry. So Leonardo da Vinci, I think he's seen the world. I think he was on hallucinogenics actually, but he's seen the world in a computer schematic, if you like, and he literally documented the flight of the butterfly using all of these grids and patterns of cymatics, which you can see in the center, like spirographs, all connected with the flights around the torus. And if you follow it around, it's a torus, and not only that, spirals in on itself, and it's a Fibonacci. So how could you have known all of that, Leonardo da Vinci, guys? It's because he was seeing the construct, the mathematical construct, because he was tuned in and he could see it. He could see it and he put it to paper, which is absolutely fantastic. So here's some more of those melted bits that you see Karnak and other sites. I don't think it could be argued that that is spludged through heat, like something has hit it. Would you agree? Another one over here. Excuse me. So yeah, if you were blind and you were going shopping for a pumpkin, there could be some problems. Just feeling for some pumpkins. There is beauty in the world. There is, unfortunately, not in this picture. He's being exercised. He's got like a demon baby that's pissing him off, and he's being exercised as well. His gizzards are lizards. So this is a nice picture of Chicago. There's lots of watery bits in Chicago, isn't there? But have a look how beautiful these buildings are back in its day. Chicago, wow. Wow, and look at the top of that building. I've seen this building looking directly down. Again, somatic pattern on it. Technology in buildings, living buildings. Just got back from the Windy City, I said bring home a couple of ribeyes home for dinner. Said to bring a couple of ribeyes home for dinner. Oh dear. Now, if you had this haircut when you were a child, you might be entitled to compensation. We used to call them a basin cut or a pamaise when I was a kid. I was fortunate; I never had it done to me. But I'm guessing a load of my friends that did get battered for having this haircut. This is a definite. That haircut and spectacles will get your head kicked in the 1970s. See, all of that fight and survival thing that I used to do in the 70s and 80s, like scrapping every single day of the week, hasn't really stopped. Here they are again, the dynamic duo, the two sides of the same coin. Look. Next time, bad cop, good cop, only if you win me. Oh man, this methamphetamine, man, he's just freaking me the fuck out. Brilliant at ping pong. Wow. Sugar keeps your energy up and your appetite down, is what they thought about before in the past. If that's the case, why are there so many lad asses about that eats loads of sugar? Why shouldn't they be eating less? I don't get it. Maybe somebody can explain to me. I think the popes and the religious types were definitely on some sort of drugs too, looking at their artworks. This is on a ceiling. And they've like three-dimensionally made the ceiling look bigger building. He's got a weapon. It's got like an Captain America shield. So there's some shit going on here, isn't there, guys? It's like Manchester on a Saturday night. Look at it. Jeez. Well, you could like argue that it was beautiful, but at the same time, you could say it was macabre and weird. It depends. Fun with shadows. Who remembers Dennis Roussos? He sung like this. He was a love god. Him and Barry White increased the population, or he's got lady things going on. He's got lady bag, lady shoes, a lady stance. I'm a little teapot, and he's got one of those Greek dresses on that I just mentioned. No offense to any Greek subscribers or anything. Awesome, I love you all, but the dresses, man. Whoa. So what's the date on this? J831. And he's had better days, hasn't he? The old Death's Head Squadron there. I mean, the skull and crossbones. Is there any difference? Is that all my images? I guess so. Come back for a minute, maybe. See if there's anyone actually here, not just a person talking to myself in my bedroom, in my living room, in my church. This is my church. This is where I heal my hurts. Look, magical. Look, it's a matrix. Look, it's a hologram. Reality's a hologram. It's not real. So, Alva Billy spent a month in jail. I don't believe it. Let's have a listen to this goss. Spent a month in jail. Gained 10 pounds hydrogenated vegetable oil. I don't want to go into that, but yeah, they done that thing with they said about cholesterol and all of that, but being YouTube. Painted his walls. It is beautiful here, Steve. My little church. So yeah, almost 800 view plus, up to 900 watching. Really groovy. That's a lot of people. And we are here, Martin. I just farted on the pew. Did you that, Rachel Osborne? Is that why it's called a pew? Because it smells. What heals in hurts? Oh, there you are. That's a good one. Isabel? Great show and research. Yeah, well, I do. That's what I do. Bob, I do research. I'm a flat earth British researcher. Famous throughout the world for my research and for blowing minds. It says on my channel page when you go on there, it says place to come if you want your mind blown. So there's that. So it's not all bad. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really think it's an awesome place. And the universe definitely seems to, you know, make things fall into place in your favor if you're doing it right. If you're doing it wrong, you can see they're all just come undone, like a car crash in slow motion, like a train crash in slow motion. I watched that happen so many times with people, friends and stuff. When I look at them and I think to myself, fuck me, that's going to hurt later on. And just watch it unfold and be unable to stop it. Times I've seen that. Of course, they're all dead now. 16 Alpha, good to see you, my friend. Transfat, oh, I bet they're whiffy. More like air. You and Jason need new mics. Well, I'll go fund me a new mic. Can't really afford one, but really nice. And this is a good mic. It's just the static is when I touch the wire at the bottom with my leg. Try not to do, just fiddle. So it's okay now, isn't it? When you begin to begin, don't Julio Inglaze me, Tyke. Don't Julio Inglaze me, man. Dragon Sage. I was literally, thank you, Dragon Sage. I was literally tortured by mother with Julio Iglesias albums, especially that one when you begin to begin, which couldn't start. It's in mind to Elvis albums. Love Elvis. Brilliant stuff. Dale Johnson, good to see you. Hi. Two Sons. Did an awesome cover, House of Rising Sun. Love the animals. They were brilliant, weren't they? Call the Rising Sun, Jane, and a Rage Redwood New. Ooh. So how many? I've been talking at 3 hours, so I'm definitely going to cut out soon. Like I said, got a show this week with Jason Rashiz. That's going to be epic. So yeah, every 2 to 250 years, they seem to have reset. And mudfloods and plasma events as well. The maps corresponded, the photographs corresponded, the timeline and everything's a bit fudged and flippy floppy, but essentially, I think we can get it between 10 and 20 years either way, counting for Common Era, 1700s, and Juliana change. I think we could round it off. So it's an approximation anyway. So there's that. But definitely every 2 centuries, and it goes over 2 centuries as well. It's into the 3rd century, and then it happens. So there's that. But it's all a technology, and it's all to do with mind, and it's all to do with us. It's a spiritual battle. I can see how it can be won. It's brilliant. It is. Oh, I love this game. It's absolutely fantastic. Really good at it. Okay, so. So what you're saying, 16 Alpha? Sure, have been a lot of private jets landing and taking off in municipal airport. Wonder why so many rich in town. Interesting. What town you in then? LA? I don't know. Where you? Max Maximus, good to see you. Chat and deeper conversations. He had a gig this week. I seen him over last week on Jason's channel. Yeah. Hippie Shake. Be sharing my links. Thanks for that and everything you do. Whisper Jack, good to see you. And I'm not sure how to pronounce Stee. Is it Stee King? Stee Klung? Villain, good to see you. Dale, I said Maximus. And our resident lovely person, who is India Wilson, who's also in the house. I reckon 10 years from now, the system will break soon. I won't break in that way. It's just this. Once we get hold of this AI thing going on, I think it's going to be beneficial to humanity. I really do. And I think that once we come out of, imagine the shock to humanity when the, when all of the, after the reset, we got all these new inventions like the motor car and everything, the change from a horse to the car, for example. Well, it's as big as that, isn't it? We've gone from analog to the digital era. Now, once we get a feel for that in another 10 years or something, then we get it to benefit us, I think. And as for like nefarious, crazy psychopaths ruling the realm, I think that that days are numbered. I see the end of all of that. I do, because all of these evil civilizations like Rome and Greece and all of them have all fallen, and for the same reason as well. So there's that. So Paul Cook agrees as well. Luke as well. That agreed with that. I'm suggesting that's a positive. So there's good. Paul Cookage. I wish Antonio was here. Would widen the dimensions. Aww. You want to borrow Antonio Subarat? I know. I think I borrow him from time to time. I really do. Because he had quite an influence in my life. Although he was a shit 7 times, he wasn't to me. So there's that. Or he was. He did one weird video that he made, but nearly got his head kicked in all that. So I don't know what happened there. So Liddy, but dead now. Another one bites the dust, and another one bites. Loose saplings, and Liddy's in the house, and Hawaiian guy. Aloha. So a Clearance Clearwater Revival are playing here in Cardiff in April. We want to see them in a big way. With one of my favourite all-time bands, and I don't think they're all Illuminati. Otherwise, they wouldn't be playing in shitty tram shed in Cardiff. That's for definite. So there's that. It would be Madison Square Gardens. So thanks, thanks, Bob Sykes. Thanks, Imperfectly Imperfect. And everyone who has been in the chat. I hope you all had a good time today. We had a few giggles, and I hope you had your mind blown and enjoyed the beauty of the world that is there to enjoy for us all. Yeah. There is beauty in the world. Combat Finn, thank you. Somewhere is a controller super intelligence. Yeah, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's like a 3-dimensional game of chess. You've got to be really on it. And intuition is something that it doesn't have. I believe that's what, if I was to say that I had a gift in anything, I think it would be that I have the ability to see glimpses of the future, like precognitive abilities. I have that. And I get little glimpses, little visions, if you like, what is to come. So there's that. So maybe I'm a prophet. So Scott Lees, good to see you. Vibes. So there's that. Alpha Billy, yeah, I love Creedence Clearwater Revival. Born on the Bayou. All right, thanks, Neil. Neil, Orange Peel. Independence Day, Joy, good to see you, my friend. Blaze, it's all in the mind, you know that, bro. Or sis. Sure. So there's Simone Willowbrook. So yeah, we've been going a long time, haven't we? 3 hours. So I hope you enjoyed the show. 750 you cats still in the house. That's wicked. So make sure to like this video if you did. Thank you for everybody who's been by today, popped in. Hope you got your full dosage of truthtainment. Piety of truthtainment. I think we're the only truthtainment. I don't know. I don't see any others. Ooh, Cali. I'm not sure where that's going. Strange name in it, Bangkok. It's really weird. Polyester. See my name today? My name today is Marticus von Dangler. Yeah. So happy Australia Day as well. We love polyester. We love Australians here. Especially Danny Minogue. Martin, will you still be as entertaining when your neocortex in hand wired into the grid? I'm not going to be doing that or any of that weirdness because I'm more like naturey. They could put a bit of antlers on me or something. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that we put our minds together with love and good intent and change the entire realm. That's what I'm thinking. That would be lush. bed's real healing. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? Feeling good if you can. Feeling the pain. As you get older, you get a lot of that. I notice old age doesn't come alone. Ralph, NASA said yesterday they see Elon Musk's Tesla drive back from Mars to Earth, and I was seeing the Vatican Lucifer telescope, 45,000 miles away, landing point direct. Yeah, well, that's all a lot of bullshit. And if that was real, that car that went up back in the day, they missed the greatest marketing opportunity in history. They should have covered it with Marlboro stickers and sold the rights for the advertising. But once it went up, apparently, you never heard about it again. It's supposed to be just going round orbiting, isn't it? Stupid. Space stuff needs to fuck off already. It's really annoying. It insults everybody's intelligence. It's so ridiculous. Who even cares anyway? Thanks, man, for another fantastic show. Thanks, Mel. Right, I gotta go make a nice cup of tea. Coffee at Renault tea bags. Bollocks. Car-shaped Vimana. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Dusky, for being here. Thanks, Michael, as well. I'd like to see you there. Okay. Yeah, Dangler Bangler. He dangles to the left. He dangles to the right. What? What you say, Laurie? I'm sure next Flaterday's host will be just as amazing. Why? Who's it going to be? I don't even know if that works anymore, hippie, but thanks. Might do, I don't know. Michael, Angelo, good to see you. Maybe Anonymous brought I don't know what that is. I don't know what Lochnar is. Thanks, George. Thanks, Liddy. Stay epic, everybody. I'm going to be back. It's getting on for 30 minutes past 11 in Wales, where I am, in wonderful Britain, in a great city called Cardiff. I've got a bad word to say about it. It is actually fantastic. Regardless of the rest of Britain, I'm not sure what's happening, but Wales is certainly holding its own. And it's not being affected by all the other weirdness that's going on in the realm, which is awesome. But there's only 3,600,000 Welsh, so there's more people living in the city of Houston than there is Welsh people. So there's not many of us. But that makes us more special because there's hardly any of us. So there's that. What's that, Laurie? Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks for listening to my efforts and my sharings of my thoughts for this week. Matt and Lika, watch the original 1981 film Heavy Metal. Oh, I know about that, bro. Oh, I know about that. All right, I know. Judge Dredd. It's a brilliant film, Judge Dredd. The Carl Urban one. Fucking love that film. Watched it about 20 times. Saw trippy colours in it and I take it slow mo. Brilliant film. Plus, a girl I used to go out with stars in it. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. There's a girl in there that plays the judge, the black girl called Reiki. She was my friend in school. So, there's that. Thanks, Wrenches. Thanks, everybody. Audie and Baron. So, yeah. No famous people. Fiona Cook. Thank you for being here. I'm Whispering Jack. Okay, I'm going. I'm going to turn this fire off. I've got a sweat on. It cost me about 40 fucking quid. Neil, Twin Towns is brilliant. See him with his hand around the sheep when he's munching on magic mushrooms. I know. That's not indicative of all Welshmen. And I'm from the city. I haven't even seen a sheep before. I thought the first time I'd seen a sheep, I thought it was a hairy dog. Adam Forrest. So what the fuck is this stuff below my feet? It's called grass, Matt. Oh, right. Fucking squishy, innit? Yeah, it's not concrete. That's right. So is that. I was dancing when I was Jimbo Matt Bolan. I bet he would have been brilliant if he'd lived on. You know, all of these stars. Hendrix, if he'd lived on. Imagine, mind you, he'd probably be doing stupid podcasts, talking bollocks like they all do now. Totally kills their, you know, the fantasy you built about these rock stars in your head is they're doing all fab things, and then they go on podcasts and they're shitter than everybody else. Have you ever seen Mr. Decrepit? Yeah. Do you know what I'm on about? Brian May from Queen. Have you seen him? He's got like, he's platinum blonde or something, and he's like death warmed up. Have a look at him. And he does these podcasts. He's done one for Christmas. I'm going to play you a fucking Christmas song. And I don't know how he managed to do Live Aid because he couldn't play music or anything. Maybe he should go and look at some planets or something in his fucking telescope. So I'm ending my post with slagging off Brian May from Queen. Okay. Shame Freddie's not still here and Brian isn't. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you. I'm going to take a bow. And I'm going to do a... And I'm also going to do a little fluff. Okay. Feel better now. Fluff. Building up that was. Warmed over necromancy. I don't know what that means. Think Brian May grey hair now. I don't know what that is either. But don't worry. Unless you're on Brian Evans, who's no longer here, but he is. I'm sure he's here in spirit in this chat somewhere. One loving our asses. Remember how lovely he was? God, he loved us. So I'm guessing he's here somewhere. Stephen Rico? Yeah, you got here late, bro. I'm off. Okay, well, spread the word to the errands that we're having an errands FEB fest here on Wednesday at 8 o'clock GMT, which is 2 o'clock in Texas time in the afternoon. So make sure to make that a date. It'd be really good. Milthampton. I want to fund you outside YouTube. Yeah, they're taking 30%, but I'm actually trying to get hold of the right tax documents so they haven't been taking 30% off me for fucking years. And I've been paying double tax like a twat. Don't even know. But apparently there is a way out of doing that. So I've been trying to work on it. So a bit stressful. Yeah, I love Brian Evans. I know. Don't worry, he's not gone here. Joe, nobody ever really dies anyway. So there's that. You die and then you're born. So that's fucking brilliant, isn't it? And then you haven't got to worry about it anymore. So there's that. Because people do, don't they? It's like, I don't think people worry about death. I think they worry about pain of death. It's like, oh, that's done. Oh, I'm dead. Imagine, no. I don't know why I laughed. Italian tourist, good to see you. Ooh, Phoenix, Oregon. Yum. You have good weed. That's been me, Flat Earth British, Matt and Luca. Going to give you a wiggly flat thumbs. Okay, move that so you can see my flat thumb edge. Okay, fluffy, wiggly flat thumbs. Okay, you can see that. And we'll be 3 hours and 19 in. Still 6,500 of you watching. Make sure to do subby things as well. Oh yeah, thanks to the 2,000 people. A shit out of nowhere. Thanks for the literally fantastic views back up to like where I was in like 2018 or something. So it was worth persevering and putting the work in, even though crazy frustrating week after week after week. Just keep on going. So I did that, and now I feel good about it. So tight, because we all want to, not be doing things for nothing. We get somewhere. Forward. That's what I'm thinking. Combat Finn. I wonder what next week's show will be like. Well, Combat Finn, brace yourselves. Okay. Brace yourselves. Buckle yourself into your chair. Okay. Because it'll be like you'll have a wind past your hair if you have any. It'll be all past your hair like that. You'd be like, that's me doing that to you. It'd be like a hurricane of information and love and energy all coming to you. Out of the screen. I'm doing that. That's magic. Okay. Ooh, that God is in Memphis, Tennessee. Long distance information calling Memphis, Tennessee. Help me, information. Help me get off YouTube. I can't. Stop it. Okay, I gotta go and sort myself out, guys. Thank you all very much. Love you all very much. That was absolutely awesome fun. I do love Flaterdays. I know it's very confusing old affair and it splatters your mind a bit, but don't worry. I was very kind to you and I didn't explode your head in any way, which was good this time. Biocharisma, the universe. I know him, Biocharisma. That is Christopher. Been on his channel, or he's been on my channel, I think, as well. Is Linda? Okay. Yeah, duck and dive, duck and dive. Duck and dive, then tornadoes. Thank you, Mo. Thank you for being epic. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I gotta go. It's like one of those bows you do endlessly in the London Palladium. But it's not. It's YouTube. Okay, it'll be midnight soon. I gotta go. Oh, I'm sorry about that, mate. Yeah, you got it bad in Carolinas, didn't you? Oh. Well, you'll be able to, well, get it all back one day soon. So amazing. Oh, thank you, Louis. All right, I gotta go. Stay epic, people. I'll be back very soon.